Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. It is another edition of Row 1 Seat 1 right here on New Bedford Guide, row1seat1.com, Joey Fats Radio. How is everybody doing this evening?
Johnny 5 is alive.
Johnny 5 is alive.
Just saw
Fine.
his phone.
You know, oh, is Johnny Quest here too? Are we doing just all the Johnnies now? Is that what we're doing?
I have no idea.
Robot.
Oh.
Johnny number 5.
Yeah, those Boston Dynamics guys are fucking playing with fire, and we'll get into that in 1 second. 774-992-8702. That's the phone number if you want to give us a ring-a-ling-ding. Ignore the rundown on the bottom. I'm going to fix that here in a second. It's not tonight's topic list. I forgot. I forgot. I got busy making a glorious movie trailer, which isn't a movie trailer. It's just kind of a bunch of still videos and then an explosion. So I Michael Bay'd a movie trailer.
You got to at least tag
That was
Rob.
submitted by a viewer.
That was submitted by one of our listeners, loyal listeners, has been for a long time fan of the show, Rob. So he gave us some audio, and I put some video, some still photos to it. I'm working on the video aspect of it. Okay, my video editing skills not great. You'll see in a minute. I just figured out how to put explosions into stuff. So get used to the fact that everything is basically going to be Michael Bay'd now for the next probably. I don't know how long is this fad going to last for me.
Our life is going to be hell.
Yeah.
Weeks, months.
I mean, if he does go there, years.
All the above.
Dude, you still reference to my 2-year-old son Tom Cruise movie from 40 years ago.
This is true.
Okay, first of all, Days of Thunder is a fucking classic.
Yeah.
I didn't say the name.
You named your son.
I didn't say the name.
You named your son Cole.
His name's Cole.
And if you think that for 1 second
Cruise.
I'm not going to tell him that nobody takes Rowdy on the high side or that those tires are match perfect and staggered
racing.
special.
Rubbin's racing.
I don't know what to tell
He
you.
didn't bump you. He didn't nudge you.
But
He didn't nudge you.
This goes back to my point. It will be 40 years from now, and Joe will be like, remember that time I used explosions for everything?
we'll get
Kapow!
I mean,
Annoying.
yeah, there will be explosions for everything and everything going forward now. It'll just be, yeah, it's just, well, look.
Remember the
dude,
dance
Michael
Free
Bay's
Boy?
made millions off of just explosions and nonsensical pieces, parts.
C. Ortega knows Cole Trickle.
No.
Yeah. Michael Bay was just like, all right, I need explosions and Hans Zimmer. And we've got a movie.
Hans.
I'm okay with Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer's a fucking great.
He retired. That sucks.
Whatever. His legacy lives on.
I like
bro.
Junkie
Give
XL.
Give us a rundown, sir. What do we got going on?
Yeah, I mean, are we gonna play this coming attraction trailer now?
No,
or?
that should be when we get into the.
No, we'll get into
Yeah,
we'll get into that in a second. But
I mean, that's like where you're gonna shine anyway. The off-season room is.
Exactly. So tonight we'll get into a couple of things. We'll get into all the quarterback rumors, obviously Deshaun Watson, Carson Wentz, everything that is circulating. We'll get into Brady getting a little bit. A little tipsy,
A little saucy.
a little sauced on the boat, and now he owes someone an apology because of it.
The booze.
We'll get into J.J. Watt being released from the Texans. So will the Texans, in one single fell swoop, just get rid of
Clean house.
J.J. Watt and their franchise quarterback, who's 24 years old or 25
Probably
years
Will
old?
Fuller too. That's a free agent.
Just
get that
absolutely
PED.
fucking crazy. We'll talk some NASCAR tonight, little Daytona 500 action, and we'll get into why it was better than the Super Bowl, because it was.
Did it end at midnight?
Yes.
Like 12 something.
Dude, I woke up and you guys were like, I can't believe how it ended. And I saw the message 12:50. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was
Still driving?
Listen,
it was a rain delay.
It was a pleasant surprise to turn on my TV and be like, oh, it's on.
It really was. It really was.
I wasn't
Nice.
surprised to wake up at 6 a.m. and I'm like, this shit's still happening? From 5 hours ago?
Shut up, Sean.
Right. It was like 8, but yeah, whatever. But nonetheless, all good. It's all good. So we'll get into that. We'll get into everything else NFL related. The first thing I do want to touch on NFL related, obviously, was the untimely passing of Vincent Jackson this weekend.
Do we have more
38
info on
years
that?
old.
I haven't seen
He was
anything
found.
besides.
He was found deceased in a room in
Hotel room.
what I have been told is a sleazy area of Florida.
Now, I did hear this. He was checked into that hotel for a month.
Yeah, he was living there,
He was
they
living
said.
there since January 13th or something
But
like that.
why?
That has not come out.
And that is why we are. That's what we're waiting for.
But then
We don't know.
a few,
I didn't realize he was only 38.
dude, a few old teammates, like a few of his old Charger teammates that he came into the league with, made some tweets like, check on your friends regularly. And it's just like, was it suicide?
I mean,
Was
you
it
don't-
overdose?
You don't know yet, but they said there was no foul play. That's the one thing that came out.
Damn, though. I think I saw something from Sean Merriman and Luis Castillo, who were just like, damn, like we're all
Yeah,
boys.
dude, that's a hit, man. Like 38 years old, just retired. What, 4 years ago?
Like 3, I think. I think it was 3 years
But
ago.
I don't think he played his last year. Like he was just hurt.
I think he got hurt his
Yeah.
last year, but that was last year was
But
in Tampa.
even still, I mean, he was with Tampa after the uniform change. Like it wasn't. He was there with Winston.
Yeah, and he played with Mike Evans and
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah. Craziness.
I can't believe
He did
that.
play with Mike Evans.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
They had 2 like 6'5" wide receivers. It was wild.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, we're talking recent history.
Yeah, Mike Evans came out, made some statement. He was like, "Yeah," he goes, "I credit a lot of what I learned in the NFL from Vincent Jackson, who like took me under his arm." And he was
Yeah.
like, "This is what you do. You're a big guy. You bully these midgets, and that's how you do it."
I mean, that's how Vincent Jackson.
Bully these midgets.
But that's what Vincent Jackson did.
Somewhere,
So if-
Gio's very upset right now.
If everybody
But
could just hit an F in the chat
pay your respects,
for
son.
respects for Vincent Jackson.
Press F to
Oh.
pay your respects.
They were doing it as a joke. You're for real this time.
You know my one memory of Vincent Jackson is, and it's not a great one, at least not for me. It is for San Diego Charger
I was
fans.
just gonna say the Chargers.
But my one memory of Vincent Jackson, the time when I realized like, oh man, this guy can play, was 2006 when Denver had built up like a 28-7 lead on a Sunday Night Football game against San Diego. The year that San Diego went 14-2 and LT set all those records, and their offense was just a fucking machine. And Denver was like still very much in the mix for the division, in the mix for the 1 seed. They were coming off that loss to the Steelers in the AFC Championship the year before. So Jake Plummer was still playing. It was like, oh, okay, we got a chance. And during that comeback, one of the signature plays, there was one where I believe it was it Mike Myers or Ebenezer Ekubon that got matched up in one-on-one coverage with LaDainian Tomlinson. Total mismatch. And LT was just like, one shake, half a bake, house. And that was like the beginning. That was like, okay, 28-14. Then it was 28-21, 28-21. Then it was 28-28. And then the go-ahead score was Vincent Jackson winning a jump ball over the late Darrent Williams in the corner of the end zone and absolutely just like, just skied for it. And it was just like one of those moments you're like, damn it. Like, and the thing was, it sucked was he was a Colorado Buffalo, so he'd been playing in Denver's backyard. And I'm like, why couldn't we get this guy? Like, he was right
I say
there.
that shit all the time.
We'll get to all the guys that Joey's gonna get in a bit.
Yes,
Jesus
it's going to be
Christ.
crazy. It's going to be crazy, but it was just it's a sad moment. Anytime you see somebody, especially like under the age of 40, it's just like that's crazy, dude. Like you're a professional athlete.
Yeah,
And
dude,
and the
crazy.
more you hear, that's why I asked you guys if there's anything else, because in case I
Nothing
missed
today,
it.
nothing
But, like the
today.
more you hear of he's been living in the hotel for 30 days.
Yeah.
His other old teammates tweet out and be like, we should have called him and texted him more. It's like so many things are coming out. It's like people know what happened, but they're not releasing it, which is even sadder.
Well, the only statement that came out was like somebody that knew him that was like in the area or something like that, and just saying like how good of a guy he was, a family man, like just the normal things that you hear somebody say. But it's like
Yeah, some shit
Well, when
happened
you-
though.
when
nothing else comes
when you
out.
die,
and
I
you've been
mean-
living, when you die in a hotel room
Alone.
that you were living in for a month by yourself,
Strange.
something's not right.
Absolutely.
Something's not right.
Yeah.
Being
and
that young, being that
Yeah,
wealthy,
Awful.
crazy.
it's sad too because we don't know what happened, but I think we all kind of have an idea of what happened, and it sucks.
Yeah, it's awful.
It's not one of those. It's not one of those moments where you're happy to like you're never like, oh great, like because it's sad. It's sad. We all know.
38. Like
you know,
he's a year older than I am.
The fact is
Let's just think about that.
I mean, we're gonna first guess
Fuck
this.
you, Sean.
He probably died of a drug addiction and a subsequent
assuming,
overdose.
yeah,
That's
overdose.
kind of what we're safely going to assume here. And it's sad because yet again, we sit here and everybody talks about COVID and everybody's dying from COVID. And meanwhile, there's an actual epidemic in this country.
Depression, all kinds of other things could have came.
Which
We
is-
don't know. We don't know.
which
Yeah,
is
we have
opi-
no
which is-
idea.
Well,
which
we'll
is-
come out and we'll
It's
we'll get
opioid
more
abuse.
as it
But
comes
again,
out.
I mean, we'll use this moment right now to, let's reflect a little bit here and say, look, opioid abuse is a bigger problem in this country than almost any other health issue. It's not climate change. It's not obesity. It's not COVID. It's opioid abuse. Everybody knows somebody who's died from a drug overdose in the last 10, 15, 20 years, whatever it was.
And it's always sad because it's so preventable.
It is. And it sucks
Or
because you
there
see
are ways to prevent it.
Well, you see people going down that path, and then, we've all had friends that have gone down that path. They've recovered, then they've gone back down it, recovered, gone back down it again, and then, how many times, what time do they go down that path is the last time? It's unfortunate. It's sad, but, hopefully we maybe in this country we'll actually wake up and address the actual problems we're having as a society, the elephant in the room, and we'll get around to doing that someday. But in the meantime, the other thing we failed to, and this is on us, we failed to mention it last week.
Another Charger great.
The passing of Marty Schottenheimer.
Yep.
Yeah, bad week to be a Charger.
Oh, my God.
Another Charger great. Chief great.
That was expected. As sad as that is,
Well,
they
he
knew
was
that
80.
77, I thought.
he wasn't in his 80s.
Oh, yeah, that's
77,
right.
I
Yeah,
believe.
but they knew he was declining. Was it
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's?
Alzheimer's, yeah.
They knew he was declining. They knew it was close to the end. They had asked for like some privacy at that time, like a week before it. Like they knew it was coming. Like the doctors had already given like their diagnosis that like they don't have much time left.
Yeah, right.
Please respect our privacy. We're not going to be taking interviews or calls. And then
Right.
all of a sudden you get the statement. And then the huge douchebag thing, which I told you two guys about, was the Washington Post.
Yeah.
In their headline, they're like, Marty Schottenheimer, terrible coach, dies. It's like, what the?
Yeah, and then they retracted it off of their website and then like changed it. And instead of saying like Marty Schottenheimer, known for failing in big games, dies at 77, they changed it to Marty Schottenheimer, known choker. Like they changed it
They
to like
changed
something
the wording.
slightly.
But it still
Briefly.
said the same thing.
They were like known playoff loser.
Yeah, it was
70
it was
it's like,
pathetic.
oh, at least you called him a loser in
But
his death.
the Washington Post is
Awful.
it's
It's like the
a
Herald.
joke of a newspaper.
like
It's a
you
joke
do-
of a media organization.
Like-
It's right up there with the Boston Globe, and not the Herald. The Herald
no,
is
the
good.
Herald's
The
good.
Herald's
but
still
what
good.
kind of shot is it to take? I know he was your coach there, and obviously it's like some bitter people that wrote that article. It's like, oh, he was a coach here and he was trash. So
You know what though? If you go inside the doors of the Washington Post, I don't think you will find very many people working there right now that are sad that a 77-year-old white man is dead. In the age of ultra wokeness and hyper liberalism, I would find that you will be very hard pressed to find anybody at the Washington Post because that had to go through an editor. That had to get like passed up a chain of command
And
in
it
order to be
went through
printed,
and got
and it went through. So it's
pressed.
probably some like 29-year-old editor who's like, fuck it, yeah,
It'll
fucking
make news.
another 77-year-old white guy dead. All right, like score one for the minorities or the BIPOCs or whatever thing we're pushing today. Like,
Left.
yeah, like it's just, but it's not far off, and it's exactly you said. It's exactly the same thing as the Globe, CNN, all these just shit show fucking media organizations that anybody who would work for, which the Cuomo brothers, they're in some deep shit right now. And it's getting deeper, and we'll see how that turns out. But that's another topic for another show, guys. So let's get back on some sports. Let's talk about Brady's
Extra touchdown pass.
he threw one last pass this year. One last pass. Tom Brady. Some would refer to him as the GOAT, not me, but I also watch football and have two eyes.
A saucy Tom Brady and that.
and inebriated.
Inebriated, yes.
Inebriated.
I guess you could
Saucy.
blame it on the avocado tequila.
I give him credit for at least taking a shot at himself.
I loved it.
Yeah,
All right,
that
so
was kind of funny.
Tom Brady just every year for like the past 5 years, Tom Brady has like climbed the ladder in my book of like people that I'm like, all right, I like this guy.
He shits on himself all the time.
He's self-deprecating.
Yep.
He's hilarious, and he's a goddamn red-blooded fucking American dude. I mean, like if this guy had played for anybody but the Patriots, I would fucking adore him.
Yeah, I know you would.
I would adore him.
But can we talk about
He's
his
still not better than Peyton, but I would adore him.
his $2 million boat? I was like, man, that's only $2 million. That boat looked like it wasn't worth $2 million.
What do you mean only $2 million? Do you know how much boats cost?
I saw that and I was like, I feel like you should get a lot more money.
You know, there's a
a
saying.
lot more for your money.
Did you see the inside of it?
No, of course not.
Exactly. So that's where his money is.
Sean didn't grow up in Dartmouth,
Yeah.
I didn't.
in the privileged lifestyle
New
Keith and I
Bedford
had.
Yacht Club. New
yeah.
Bedford Yacht Club.
I grew up in New Bedford. Ain't no goddamn yacht club in New
New
Bedford.
Bedford Yacht Club is in Dartmouth.
Yeah,
kinda
it's
weird.
right down at
No,
Banana Rim.
I know.
That was my first job. Actually, was at the yacht club.
I was on the what was the little boat that used to take you back and forth?
The launch,
Yeah, the
the
launch.
ferry,
What was
yeah.
the name?
the launch.
The Pina Colada?
Concordia, right? Acadia. What the hell was the name of the little boat?
I don't remember what the launch
The
name
accordion.
was actually.
It was either the Acadia or the Concorde. We can't
Well,
remember.
Concordia is the boatyard next door.
Oh, the
Okay.
Aquafina.
So then it was
Yeah.
it was the Acadia.
Okay, sure.
It could have been. I honestly
You know,
forget.
the one
I had
that take
friends
you
that
out to your
drove. I had
moorings
friends
and
that
all-
yeah, I
yeah,
had
that's
friends
what
that
I'm
drove it in high school.
Amazing
Head
stop
out
and
to the
shop
moorings all
water.
the time. Yeah, it's great.
That was a great job. If you could land that job for a summer,
Oh, it was tit.
oh, that was the dream job. 'Cause you get tipped like a motherfucker,
Yeah.
and all you do is drive a boat around. You get people out. Oh, hey, let's go to the boat.
Oh,
let's
you're
go to the
deep
boat,
out,
go to the
sir.
boat.
Have a seat.
Yeah, you just sit there and.
In case I wasn't sure what an engine sounds like.
Yeah, that's it. Just
but
putting along.
where were we going with this? Oh,
About
right.
Tom
Brady's
Brady
football
inebriated.
song.
And I
Right,
said
right,
the
right.
boat
His
didn't look like it was
last
worth
Right,
$2 million.
Sean didn't grow up in
Carl.
like us, privileged in South Dartmouth with access to a yacht club like we are, or at least I did. But Sean, we had this saying in Dartmouth. Like when I grew up, my parents were like,
thought you were going
we weren't rich. Like we weren't By no
All right,
means
land
were-
the plane. Where's
were
this
we
going?
able
I
to-
thought we were going back to
By
the
no means
toss.
were we able to afford a boat.
Go
so what
on.
the saying was as my Uncle Steve would put it, OPBs. He's like, you always want an OPB. What's an OPB, Uncle Steve? Other people's boats. Because, like they say about boats, it's a hole in the water that you throw money into.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's all it is. It's just
Absolutely.
that's how you do
Oh,
it.
I know the saying, like the happiest day
Trash.
is the day you buy your boat and the day you sell your boat. It's like the happiest days of being a boat owner.
And that's actually not far from the truth.
So,
So Tom Brady's
okay.
boat
Speaking
was
of boats,
exquisite.
so
but
I-
$2 million? Not. That's actually pretty cheap. all
Okay,
things
I don't know. I
Was it worth
saw
a
it.
$2 million toss?
I saw it, and I was
Just
just
a
like,
question.
is that really $2 million? I don't know shit about boats. I just my gut feeling as
Well,
a
yeah,
regular
why
dude.
did you see the boat?
What do you mean when I see the boat? It's a fucking boat in the water. What do you want me to do?
But why did you see it? Was there something going on with the boat?
You want to just get stabbed today? Today's not the day to fuck with me.
Sean had a very bad day today.
It wasn't that bad. It was
This is great.
uncomfortable.
He had a bad day.
So he threw one last touchdown pass.
So yes, so Brady decided that it would be a good idea to take the Lombardi Trophy as they were doing the boat parade in Tampa. Which all of a sudden, I love how boat parades are like a thing, and not like the lame duck boat parades they have in fucking
Oh,
Boston.
suck my balls.
Those are so fucking lame, dude.
you
like,
fucking loved them 8 years ago
why? No, I didn't.
when you were still a Sox fan. You
No, I
loved it.
didn't.
14
I
years
never
ago.
liked the duck boat parades. I thought the duck boat parades were lame. You know what was awesome?
Not even in
No,
04?
No, you know what was awesome? Fucking Mike Napoli walking shirtless through Boston,
That
ripping
was
butts and
after the
drinking
duck
beers.
boat
'Cause he was
tours.
trashed.
Oh, he was trashed.
I know. That
My
was
boy
awesome.
My
That's
boy
not a
was
parade.
sauced.
May as well have been.
He was a parade in
Everyone's
himself,
like,
bro.
look at Mike Napoli. Joey's like, oh.
Love Mike
What a fucking
Napoli.
parade.
One of my favorite players in that team. But
So Brady.
Brady, I love the boat parades because it's just a whole nother like element of fun because
Well, not
not only
every
you
city
getting
can do
sauced,
that.
but you're getting sauced on a boat. I mean,
And
tell
then
me
you
one
do-
time
and
you've
then
gotten
you do
drunk.
boat things.
Yeah, you can do boat stuff.
Like throw Super Bowl fucking trophies across
So
the water.
Brady decided it would be a good idea. I mean, granted, if you're gonna trust anybody to throw anything, Brady's probably at least top 5 on your list, right? Like I'm
You
just
know,
saying.
yep.
I'm just saying in general. Like if you had 5
He's
people in
gonna
the
put it there.
world that you were like, all right, I need to throw this like 30 feet. Brady's going to be on the short list of people you would ask
Yeah,
to
he's
do
gonna,
it.
he's gonna put it there.
So Brady had the Lombardi Trophy, and he decided to throw it to Cameron Brate, who was on the boat behind him. Now, good news for him is the boat, is going like this. So
Perpendicular.
as he throws it, it's going off the back of the boat to the oncoming boat.
So it's
So he
coming
doesn't have
towards
to.
him.
So he doesn't have to put as much sauce on it.
Oh, he was sauced though.
Oh, he was sauced.
Oh, he was
And
sauced.
I want to see him just grab like, the end of it, just go like, yeet.
I wish it had gone in the drink in the worst
Dude,
fucking
right?
way because it would have made the story so much better.
You didn't see how far? Did you hear how far down it would have been to go get it? It would have been over 100 feet
That's awesome.
from where
Really?
they were. That's what they said. They said it would have been a far, far dive to get that trophy.
I have to doubt that.
There's an article
know.
about it. Check it, out.
It was an inlet water. Inlet
No, it was
waterway, was it
no,
not?
no,
No,
it was a
it's,
fucking off the coast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, it's one of those that like cut in.
Yeah.
Make it, like,
Anyway,
an insula.
so there's an article about it. Check it out.
I will.
Really quick, did you guys see the video of Brady coming and finding Brate after that when he was inebriated? He grabbed like Karen Brate's face and he's like, I would have crushed your face if you didn't catch it. And Brate was like, but I did. And he's like, I know. You haven't seen the video?
No.
Oh, I gotta find
I-
the video for you
That's
guys.
something
I know,
All right.
but I would have. It's like great, but I didn't. So why are we having this
I know,
conversation?
right?
Because I just wanted to let you know how hard I would have had
He's
to
just
kill
like, I
you.
just want to let you know how sauced I am. And I would have fucked you up.
That is a classic drunk move right there, where like everything goes perfect, and then you
And
just
you're like, dude.
and you still find a way to chastise the person who was involved with it with you because you're so shit faced that you're just like, fuck. You're so lucky that the drunk one,
Put it right in your chest.
put it right where you did because then I would have been the one to blame, you fucking asshole. And then like in your drunk mind, all the things that could have gone wrong start replaying, and you're
And like,
like,
how much you're like, damn, I'm an
and you're like, I put so much faith in fucking Cameron Brate, not even
it wasn't
Gronk.
Gronk.
Or-
Yeah,
or-
right?
oh,
AB.
You don't want Gronk with the trophy again. You saw what he did the last one.
This is true.
He
Well, he
bunted.
dented the
He
shit out
bunted. He
of
goes, ha, 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 and he ran away like giddy like a little girl. And then
He
he's
really
like,
did. That was awesome.
It's like,
and then,
my bad.
and then he was literally on his own boat twerking on the edge. I don't know
There was a prop bet in Vegas
that he would have been
that
a
he would
stripper.
he would have gone overboard.
No,
That
he
was-
doesn't. No, when he parties, he doesn't drink. He drinks water. He drinks after he's done dancing. He doesn't dance and drink at the same time. That's weird.
That seems kind of odd.
like
No.
exactly how opposite how it should
No,
go.
he loves dancing.
So you're telling me when Shaq picked him up, he was sober?
Yep.
I honestly don't believe that.
It's a weird thing. Gronk's like the whole family. They love to dance and get like crazy, and then they drink after they're done doing that.
Wow, you can really dance.
Anyway,
So Brady throws this to Cameron Brate without incident. Everything is fine. The pass is completed. But the daughter of the man, the silversmith, as we've now become so familiar with the term.
My husband was Lombardi Jr.
Who designed the Lombardi trophy is butthurt beyond fucking butthurt, claiming that Brady disrespected
Her great and pappy.
is her father or grandfather?
I think it was her dad.
Is it her dad?
I think it was her dad. But I'll tell you what disrespected me. Her underarm fat was highly disrespectful to me as a human being.
Jesus.
Like, don't be flapping that shit and telling me Tom Brady can't throw the damn Lombardi trophy, and you haven't picked up a plate in
it was
26 years.
15 feet. I mean, it wasn't like it was far.
Dude, they throw the trophies every year. The guys do crazy stuff with them. She'd be mortified if it was the Stanley Cup. They did what with the trophy? That trophy's been involved with orgies.
I was gonna say,
Listen, that Stanley Cup gets a day with each person that's won it.
Exactly.
And the
Let's
worst
be
part
real.
is,
What happens with the cup stays with the cup, bro.
and unlike the Lombardi trophy, the cup travels to the next team the following year.
Yep.
So it's not like that Lombardi that Brady threw around on the boat. Like that's the Glazer family's Lombardi that stays with the Bucks.
Yeah.
Whatever. The Stanley Cup, which gets all sorts of
everywhere.
shit. I mean,
You saw what Alexander Ovechkin did with it.
Who was the hockey player from Russia who had like the hot Russian girlfriend and he took nudes with the Stanley Cup?
I don't know. Name a guy.
Yeah,
That's probably like tons of
I was
them.
gonna say, so what 100 of the NHL guys you want to talk about?
But like that trophy is like so many unspeakable things
Dude,
happen with that
Alexander
trophy.
Ovechkin ended up getting it for 3 days. Right?
Yeah,
You're only
but
supposed to have it for 1.
he deserved it for 3 days.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. The 3 days he had he was like, I don't think there's been more beer around this trophy or drinking out of this trophy.
Yeah,
in
he
3
said
days
he
that
said he
I've
sat
had.
on his couch and he like tipped it back as it poured into his mouth. That's
Like,
really
he was
funny.
just like, oh, the bowl's empty. Yep, time to fill up the trophy again.
Yeah, and that brings it up too. That I'm glad you brought that up. I'm sorry for stuttering just then. But this woman, did she not see Gronk punting the ball 2 years
This
ago?
is true.
She must have been like, that's like hitting my dead father's corpse with a baseball. Gronk might as well have taken this man out of the grave, bunted his skull with the ball. That's what this woman was disrespected by.
So Lorraine Gross is the woman's name. Sorry, I was looking up. I had it open.
That's
but,
okay.
Okay, she is the daughter of Greg Gross, who crafted the very first trophy as the master silversmith at Tiffany and Company from 1967 until his retirement in 1994.
But what? This woman out of nowhere. Like, why do you care?
Because
Why?
her name is Karen.
All right, I'm just going to throw this out there. Have you ever met a pleasant person named Lorraine?
I don't know. Honestly, probably. I have.
I hear Lorraine, I think of Back to the Future.
I hear Lorraine and I just think like angry grandmother like yelling at kids.
Nah,
like,
I know some younger Lorraines.
You do?
Yeah, actually, I know one
Yeah.
Lorraine.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, think of my field. I know a lot of people.
Fro's nieces and nephews' mom. Danny's girl.
Oh, okay. Well, that's you could have just said sister-in-law
Well, then not.
or whatever.
Oh, you know Mitch Connor's his wife.
I'm just saying.
Connors.
I mean, it's not like Karen or Tiffany or whatever. Like those names are just synonymous with just terrible.
What about Mercedes?
Are we at the strip club?
The band's truck.
Are we at the strip club? Are we at is this the petting zoo?
All right. So I don't know.
Squirrel.
Wait, I'm just like waiting for Too Short to walk.
I
in the
just
door.
don't
The
understand.
original
I
pimp.
don't like who decided I'm gonna go find this woman and interview her and see how she feels about this. And she's like,
She
haven't
I think
slept.
she didn't she
Shelch?
it out.
She had to have sought out the media source, right?
Too many
for this?
S's.
She
shot
had
her
to
shot.
have, she had to have contacted them and been like, "I'm mad about this," because she claims
to
she didn't
publish
sleep for
this.
2 nights.
I thought it
2
was
nights?
3.
Oh, maybe it's more now. I don't know. But she claims she
It's like
hasn't
the chair
slept.
that Joey sits on.
Did her father die
gross.
just like recently?
Secret Lab, quality chairs.
$7,000.
Did he? No, that show's like 15,000.
Oh, it's gone even higher.
But what happened? Like, did her father like recently pass away?
No, I don't think so.
It's just until his retirement in 1994. It doesn't say anything about him passing away in the article.
Damn.
So he's
okay.
if he's still alive,
He's had a good
we got
life.
problems.
But I mean, look, maybe he's he's got Alzheimer's and he doesn't know what's going on. I don't know.
She described it to him. They took your corpse and hit it with a baseball.
It
With a
very well-
shovel.
It could have been. Could have been. But she was very upset, and she is demanding an apology from Tom Brady, not just for her and her father and silversmiths everywhere, because apparently this is a huge blow to the silversmith community to see the Lombardi trophy being thrown around,
Oh my God.
like a thing. Like, she wants an apology for the fans.
How about
because the fans, obviously, the fans in Tampa, especially, where this guy who just showed up last year
and was
in
like,
the middle of the pandemic was like,
have a trophy.
Hey, here, let's win a Lombardi.
It's like, I'm Oprah, you get a trophy. I throw a trophy.
Do you think anybody in Tampa, if you propose to them back this time last year, listen, you guys are gonna be able to you're gonna be able to have a boat parade and the Bucks are gonna win a Super Bowl, but Tom Brady's gonna take a chance and throw the Lombardi from one boat to another. Is that okay with you? And they'd be like, we don't give a fuck what happens to that trophy.
Sink the trophy.
It can go to the fucking bottom of the Atlantic with the Titanic for all we give a fuck. Yes, win us the Super Bowl.
Yeah, diehard Bucks fans are probably like, you can light my mother on fire, and I'll take it. I'm saying
I don't know if
diehard
there's
Bucks.
diehard Buck fans like that.
No, that has to be so.
There is somebody in Tampa Bay who's like, I will burn my Derek Brooks and John Lynch jerseys for another Super Bowl. There's somebody that will do it. I'm just saying.
I was just going to say, is it Warren Sapp?
It's all started up that gut. But anyway, it was. Do you guys think Brady is actually going to apologize for this? Because
I hope not.
I mean,
oh God,
he has nothing to apologize for because there was no blood,
Nothing
no
happened.
foul.
Yeah, right.
So what's the problem here, Karen?
Speaking of Brady apologizing, Brady did apologize to Honey Badger via text.
Yes, he did.
She got some sand in her vagina.
Yeah, he really did.
Sand hanging everywhere.
He saw it.
Yeah, he apologized to Tyrann Mathieu, but that's old news though. That was already.
Yeah, but that's the only apology he did, and he didn't even have to do that.
He didn't. No, it was just
even
a
though
heated exchange between two guys.
Even though Matthew may have played the race card.
He insinuated that Brady.
But then
may
he deleted
have
it after 30 seconds.
Yeah, he insinuated that Brady, which I would find extremely hard to believe, that Tom Brady of all people, especially in this day and age, and being as aware of everything that's going on as he is, would slip up like that. And not only that,
why would he ever do that?
I don't even think it would be a slip up. I just don't even think it's not something that he was about. I just don't even see it.
Yeah, I never got that.
But how
from
many
him.
times? I mean, we've seen it with LeBron James. We've seen it with Jussie Smollett. We've seen it with Bubba Wallace. What was the brother there? Bennett.
Yeah.
We saw it with Bennett. There's money to be made with hate hoaxes. And all you got to do,
money to be lost.
All you got to do as an African American in sports now to get yourself out of any kind of shitty situation is be like, well, he used the N-word. I mean, look what happened with Myles Garrett and Mason Rudolph.
Yep.
He was like, they were like, God damn, dude, why'd you have to bash his fucking skull in with a helmet? Well, he called me the N-word, and everybody was like, well, all right then, okay.
I get it.
I guess we. And he's
well,
like,
death
and they're
penalty.
like, and they're like, well, did anybody else hear it? Are you doubting me? Are you asking questions? How dare you, you
Rudolph's like,
you racist?
What day is it?
That pretty much ruined his career too. Anyway, that whole incident.
I mean,
It ruined. Isn't that crazy? It ruined Mason Rudolph's career and not Myles Garrett, even though what Myles Garrett did and said.
Rudolph,
more talented.
Hold on, Mason Rudolph, not good. Myles Garrett.
Well,
good.
maybe he could have been good if you didn't have to destroy his brain.
He wasn't good before that.
He had a good arm.
Right, but isn't it funny though? You get a guy who he goes out and commits a pretty heinous act. That's right up there with what's his name stomping on Andre Garrod's head, Albert Hainsworth stomping on Andre Garrod's face, or how many people freak the fuck out because anytime Ndamukong Suh breathes on somebody wrong. And yet Myles Garrett goes and smashes this dude's skull in with a fucking helmet.
Yo, and that was Hulk smash shit too.
And
that
then
was no
clearly makes up an excuse well, he used the N-word. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Literally, you were the only person that said that. No one corroborated your story.
They made him apologize though too.
Who, Mason Rudolph?
No,
Or Garrett?
Garrett. They made him apologize.
He
He made a public apology.
Oh, great. Yeah, no, that
saying.
Here's how impactful that apology was, Sean. This is the first I'm hearing of it. That's how impactful it was.
Whee!
3 years later, I'm finally hearing about it. So, but that's all you got to do. It's but there's no consequences for that. You know what I mean? It's become the new. It's another way of the girl at school. She's like, oh, you going to the NFL? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, he raped me.
Jesus.
That took a turn.
It is. It's
shit.
It's the cleat chasers when they don't get the athlete, and then they just cry rape, and the guy loses a scholarship, or in some cases goes to jail, and it's not that what they're doing is wrong. It's not that they shouldn't report it or say anything if it does happen.
But if it's fake.
But when it's found out to be fake and there's zero repercussions for the person who made up a story and ruined someone's life, that's a problem. So it goes kind of hand in hand. But anyhow, nonetheless.
Moving on.
So Brady is not, in my opinion, Brady is not going to issue an apology to this Karen.
As he shouldn't.
And he shouldn't, because this woman has no leg to stand on. It is none of her business. It is not her trophy. It is not an insult. Like, is this not the most grasping at straws, 2021?
The NFL has no issues with it. How can you have an issue with it?
But I get, victim culture being a huge thing now, and it's all the rage, and everybody wants to be a victim. But is anybody else, when are we going to sit here and be like, all right, yeah, enough's enough. Okay, yeah, he threw a trophy that your dad designed, not made. He hasn't made a trophy in 35 years now? 25 years?
Close, at least 30 years.
25 years, since 1994 when he retired.
Yeah, 25.
So at least 25 years.
Yep.
Hasn't even made a trophy. But you're going to, claim that you're insulted by this? I don't know.
Appalled.
It is. It's appalling. It's appalling that a woman would have the balls on her to come out and actually say this. And I get it. She got her 5 cents of,
5 seconds of fame.
5 seconds, not even 15.
5 cents.
It's all right.
5 seconds of fame.
It down for the montage. It's coming.
She got her 5 cents in, because her 2 cents.
That's what he was going with. 5 cents and 5 seconds together. 5 cents of fame.
5 cents of fame. Look at that. I just coined a phrase. TM.
Trademark it.
Put it on a T-shirt.
Stamped. Which we got to get together. We got to come up with a list.
Come up with the shirts.
We got to come up with a shirt list.
That's
5 cents. Get you 5 cents of fame. Well, we need what? Bok, 1.1K. I read the thread.
We'll come up with it.
Oh, we got there's so many.
There's got to be more. There's so many more. If you do have an idea for a quote that you want to see on a T-shirt, please submit that.
It can be the whole trailer that's going to be coming up soon.
Oh,
yes,
my God.
Yeah, we'll play that at the bottom of the hour. Bottom of the hour, we'll play the movie trailer for the Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, so all you diehards that are out there listening, you want to stick around for 9:30.
Joey, what a psycho.
Joey's getting a lot of love from Thab for sticking up for Tom.
Listen, I do what's right, okay? I am a man of the people.
Joey has admitted many times over the last couple of years that he likes Brady. He just would like Brady a lot more if he never played for New England.
This is true.
Absolutely. I would love Tom Brady if he didn't play for New England.
If Tom Brady never won a Super Bowl but played in Arizona, Joey would be like, this fucking guy's great.
He chugs beer. He knows how to laugh.
He does
kisses
Haran.
his kids in the mouth, but that's
he
a
likes
little weird,
avocado tequila, which, by the way, where do I get some avocado tequila?
They probably have
The
it
one
somewhere.
thing
I want to find some.
he likes.
I want to know how good it is in a
on
margarita.
the mouth.
Dude, you gotta
You don't
drop
kiss your
that
kids
shit.
on the mouth, man. You just don't do that.
Okay, everybody's got one thing, right? Everybody's got one flaw.
You hate Ray Lewis too?
For what? Why would you
Why,
hate
does
Ray
he kiss
Lewis?
his kids on the mouth?
Remember he
Oh
said
yeah,
that?
he preached about it.
He's like,
but,
I kiss my kids in the mouth.
But
What?
listen,
He screamed at like,
it
people watching him.
wasn't. It wasn't on camera.
Yes, it was.
He
The
wasn't.
whole thing was on
He
camera.
wasn't
He
doing
didn't
the
do it
deed.
on
He wasn't
camera.
doing the deed.
In the
He
middle of
threatened
the
to.
He
documentary.
tried to, but Tom Brady was like, "Hey, come here, son."
His kids were like 26. He's like, I'll make out my son right now. What? And everyone's like, oh,
Right,
shit.
now
Nothing.
you're exaggerating. There was definitely no "I'll make out my son." There was no "I'm gonna tongue my kid right now."
But no one's going to judge him.
But he said it while he was whisper yelling, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Double
There
standard.
was no spigot.
There was no spigot, and there was no cards to flip, and no push-ups to be done. So that's a little bit different. But you're right. If Brady didn't play in New England, I would love Tom Brady. I mean, I do love Tom Brady as the guy. I love him. I think he's awesome. To do what he's done his whole career and play at this age and do what he's doing, I think it's fantastic.
Oh,
and
they're going to give him an extension.
that he can-
Oh, yes, they are. Oh, he's going for 4 or 5.
The fact that he can go out and just pound avocado tequila on a boat, get so drunk that he fucking tosses a Lombardi trophy
And
from
then-
boat to
and then
boat,
needs to be
and
carried
then has to
to
be
the next
carried
venue.
off like that. Like when Brady was walking out of the gate, that clip of him walking out shit-faced, that's every husband's nightmare of when you go to pick up your girl from brunch with her girlfriends on a Sunday afternoon.
I'm giving
when
everyone-
she walks out with her other friend and
Holding
your
her and you're
girl
like,
is like
"Shit."
Brady and you're like, oh, God damn it.
I'm giving everyone that's listening and watching right now a challenge. Whoever finds avocado tequila, throw the link in the chat. I'm going to force Joey to buy it live on air.
Oh, that's not really much of a force, but okay.
Can you? Well, yeah. Some places will deliver alcohol to Massachusetts.
Yeah, that's the
I
challenge.
thought everything could now.
No, not yet.
Some places won't. Some places are weird about it.
Whatever.
Like I initially had to get because I bought the Metallica whiskey blackened, and I actually had to have it shipped up to my cousin's house in New Hampshire, and then he brought it down for me.
Oh, yeah,
because
that's
I
right.
got
I remember
myself
you
a
talking about
bottle
that,
and I
yeah.
got my younger brother a bottle for Christmas, and so I got it, but it wasn't. They weren't able to deliver it to Massachusetts. However, when I ordered the box set of the blackened whiskey with the
Yeah, that's cool shit.
the LP.
Yep.
It came with the album and everything. Sean's seen it. I think you've seen it.
Yeah, I saw it. That's cool.
It was really rad. That came right to my house. That was no problem. But I think it was because it was.
Because it was
It
a
has to
gift
have
set.
merchandise too.
Yeah,
yeah,
a gift set.
It was a gift set. So it was a little bit different, which is a little bit weird. But 774-992-8702. Be sure to check out row1seat1.com. And you can check out some of the interesting material we've got coming out. We've got a lot of stuff coming up. They're going to be doing a firearms podcast starting pretty shortly here. Got a couple people involved that might want to get involved.
Firearms podcast?
So if you're a gun guy, and I'm a gun guy, and I know we got a lot of people who listen to the show that are gun guys, or you're just looking to get into them and you want to learn a little bit about firearms, we'll have a little Q&As.
Some P's and Q's.
Yeah, a little bit of mind your P's, mind your Q's, laws, discussions, hardware, so, all that kind of fun stuff. So we're going to be doing that. Coming up in the next couple of weeks, we'll have a Broncos podcast that T and I are going to be starting up as well. We got the Shut Up and Dribble podcast that's going to be kicking off, next week?
Next week or the week after, I believe.
Next week or the week after, that's going to be going.
Who's on that one?
That's Brandon and.
Oh, gotcha.
That was your fill-in from the other night?
I thought it was like row 75386. I'm just making up names.
3099.
That's what I just said. 309.
But we got a bunch of stuff. So row1seat1.com, go check that out.
Card shop.
We got the
cards on
cutting
Acushnet
cards.
Avenue.
Acushnet Ave card shop.
Barbers.
How's that going?
Pretty good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, decent. I mean,
So
we
the
haven't
case is getting full.
Yeah, we haven't really opened, but it's a little soft launch. So.
You need someone to go in there and just start screaming while they're opening cards, like Jesus Christ, and it's just like some
Well, that's all
unknown
part
bullshit
of the grand
guy.
opening coming in soon.
Talking about the grant, yeah. Well, we'll get to that, and then we got a bunch of fun stuff coming up. So row1seat1.com. Be sure to pay attention to that. Make sure if you haven't already, you go to row1seat1 the Facebook page. Give us a like and definitely give us a share. We've been pushing that pretty hard. We're trying to get over 1,000 on likes and follows. So if you can go ahead and
way over 1,000 on follows.
Yes.
We're about 15 away from 1,000 likes.
which is weird because I thought they went hand in hand and they couldn't do one.
Well, when
without
you
the
go on
other,
the
but-
page now, there's a follow button, and then if you scroll down, then there's a like button. But they're separated. But if you
Which
hit
is
like,
stupid.
it automatically follows.
Right,
But if you
the
hit follow,
offspring.
it doesn't like.
Yes, and you'll also be able to find every single show we do in video format on YouTube every single night. So every new show that we do, I'm working on uploading the old ones, but bear with me. That's a lengthy, time-consuming process. So I'll get there eventually. But just, make sure you check out YouTube, Row 1 Seat 1. Follow us there, Facebook, all the usual spots. So,
No, Chico, you know the guys. We everywhere.
Yep. What he
so
said.
yeah, what he said. Do we want to get into the quarterback carousel, the quarterback rumors,
Fuck yeah.
anything else, or do we want to do J.J. Watt first?
Well, do we have
JJ, we could do JJ Watt quick.
Before we get off into J.J. Watt, God damn it, Sean, phrasing. Before we get off J.J. Watt, anything
Phrasing?
else? Yeah, I know, phrasing. Anything else on Tom Brady? The whole
Listen,
drug thing?
he's-
I got to find that video for you guys
I'm
of him,
willing-
going to Braid's face.
I'll put it this way: I'm
Could have
willing.
hurt you.
I'm willing to elevate Tom Brady to number 3 overall on my list now.
So who does he pass?
Not because of what he did on the field, but because of his actions off the field.
So what will make Brady one for you ever?
Nothing. There's nothing.
Just nothing. If he wins 2 more Super Bowls right after now, if he wins back to back to back, the first ever 3-peat Super Bowl.
Listen, like I said last week,
I hope he doesn't. I would kill myself.
What I thought of Tom Brady when he beat the Eagles in 2004 is what I think of Tom Brady now. And I think most people, whatever you thought of Tom Brady when he won his 4th against Seattle, your opinion's not changing of Tom Brady.
That's not true. Actually, in 2004, I would have said he's a top 10 quarterback of all time. And I was totally happy with top 10 all time. I'm like, we have, he's our Marino.
Oh, stop
he's
it. No, people were putting him above Peyton even back then.
Mm-hmm.
In the time, yes, but in the grand scheme of things, it was if I had to go back and really grade him, because he didn't have all the stats he did then. That was before he became a stat machine of the 2007s, this year, and the last years.
Before he had Rendemus.
I mean, it was basically this year and 2007's.
No, he had some pretty dominant years.
2010 was pretty good, but
but I thought top 10 all time at 2004, and I'm like, 3 Super Bowls. If we can continue it, I was really hoping for that, like that 05, like you just continue it, like you just hope it.
And Jake Plummer came in and was like,
yeah, and then we didn't win again for a decade,
Champ
and
Bailey
all
was
those
like, suck my dick.
all those things come into play. You're like, oh, in 2014 that year when they went to Kansas City and they got smoked by Kansas City, and you had to start questioning. I questioned it. I said. Joey didn't. I'd never forget that. Joey's like, "Oh no, they'll be there at the end," and I'm like, "It's been 10 years. Like maybe it finally is time." That's why they drafted Garoppolo. That's why they did all this shit. And then I'm like,
which funny? Did you hear the article? And I forget. Maybe we'll take a quick left turn here. There was an article. I can't remember the guy's name who posted it, but he was basically saying how Brandon Cooks, that trade. They brought Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels brought Brandon Cooks in because they thought he and Jimmy Garoppolo were going to develop and become like the next like dynamic one.
Oh, that makes total sense.
And
they were both young.
They were basically like ready to send Brady like out the door every single day.
I'm not shocked. I'm not. I'm not. Well,
I'm not
shocked at all.
Mr. Kraft was like, "No, that's my boy."
Right, but it brings into question. It brings into question. And I was listening. I think it was the Pat McAfee show. And they were talking about it. It basically brings into question Bill Belichick's ability as a general manager and his ability to identify talent. Because obviously, if Bill was ready to show Tom the door 2-3 years ago, and then Tom goes down to Tampa and throws 39 touchdowns and has a great year and wins a Super Bowl, what does that say about Bill Belichick, the GM? Because I know there's often this discussion that goes on amongst Patriot fans about, okay, you've got Bill Belichick, the head coach, greatest of all time. No one's even going to touch him, this and that. And then Bill, but Bill the GM. Bill the GM kills me. I hate Bill the GM.
Listen,
he can't develop talent.
That.
But let me ask you this. Name me one other GM in the history of the NFL that has gone to 9 Super Bowls and won 6.
And I will die on this hill. And my open offer stands from now into eternity of when I don't do the show or until the show dies or I die or whatever the case may be.
The show never
I
dies.
will open challenge anybody who has a disagreement with Belichick's GM decisions and says that someone else could have done a better job over Belichick in that same time frame.
Well, and the people that
Not even in that same time frame. How about in the entire fucking existence of the NFL?
Why, what's the latch? Well, he can't draft in the first round.
Yes, he can.
Sure he can.
We know that.
Tell that to Richard Seymour.
We know that, but that's he sucks at drafting. And it's like, no, he kind of doesn't.
It's like, but he doesn't. He
gets the guys that nobody thinks about later in the
Trust
draft.
me, I've done this for
later
the last...
in the draft, and then all of a sudden, come week 6, you're like, oh.
I know exactly what Sean's talking about because I've done the exact same thing with John Elway over the last 10 years. John Elway has routinely been in the top 2 or 3 of GMs in the NFL in terms of drafting, getting value for players, so on and so forth. Right. The only fault that John Elway had, which was the same as
quarterback,
2/3, 75% of the league, was finding a quarterback. Other than that, John Elway has been a phenomenal GM. Now, that being said, the whole Belichick thing, when people come out and they say, oh, Belichick the GM, fuck him, Belichick the GM sucks. This is how disillusioned and detached from reality New England fans have become.
But they drink the bullshit media, too.
But that's the thing. They think that a guy
good quote.
Who is the GM and the head coach of a team at the same time, simultaneously, they think that the coach is great, but the GM is bad. Find me another GM that's gone to 9 Super Bowls, that's won as many division titles in a row as Bill Belichick has.
Just any GM.
Any GM in any sport, outside of the Yankees in the 90s?
The Yankees and the Bulls when they had Jordan.
Or maybe the Braves when they went on that run.
The Braves, yes, when they had those 4 great pitchers.
It's never happened in football, ever, and it'll never happen again. But that's how fucking delusional Patriots fans are. And that's why they're all Bucks fans right now. Like I saw somebody else today posted a picture of themselves wearing the split Patriots Bucks Brady jersey.
God, that hurts my insides.
And I'm just like, kill yourself. Just drink fucking bleach. Go get COVID. I don't know. Just die.
Every Super Bowl team that you've had as a Patriot has been a team that Bill has constructed and coached.
Yes.
So if they were Super Bowl winning teams,
actually,
that's a Super Bowl winning GM that constructed the team.
Not so true in the first 3 Super Bowls because they had Scott Pioli.
No, correct. But once he took over, yes, there was a gap and you didn't win.
But yeah,
Super Bowls,
a lot of the guys were Parcells guys early.
Teams were still relevant. Teams were always in the mix. They just didn't make it. They had a bad game in the playoffs, whatever it may have been. They were always there, and then got back to the promised land.
See, the biggest thing, and I'll never forget, actually, bringing up Scott Pioli. Scott Pioli actually a few years ago said the one thing that he could say about Bill Belichick that nobody else talks about is that people want to jump on Bill Belichick and say, well, he doesn't draft good talent, and then that talent becomes bust very quick. It's like
Wrong.
It's like, no. It's like Scott Pioli says, Belichick has the ability to recognize he made a mistake and get rid of that mistake early, as opposed to keeping it because I drafted him in the third. I might as well have him keep him here for all 4 years and he'd be unproductive. He said, case in point, he drafted Chad Jackson. Chad Jackson did not work out after 2 years. He cut him in year 3. He recognized
Joey Fast Radio, row 1C1.
Hey, Joey, hey, guys.
What's up,
What
buddy?
is going on, Pat?
I want to politely disagree. I think Belichick the trader, if that makes any sense, that's the real world. Like getting Kyle Van Noy and Team Hicks, he gets good trades, but I think he needs more checks and balances with the drafting. I really do.
So let me ask you this:
They need Scott Pioli. They need a Scott Pioli. They need a real GM. I think.
But do you think Asante Samuel was a bad draft pick?
No, Joey. He has a lot of great draft picks. I just think about the.
Let's say, how about Richard Seymour?
But Pat,
This can go on.
Vince Wilfork.
Pat, let me ask you, like who do you think has a better track record?
Nobody.
Oh,
All right then. So like
I'm
you
not
gotta
saying
think.
Bill sucks at drafting.
No,
I
but
wish
Pat-
there was more voices in the
But Bill
room.
has I think I saw the stat. Bill has a 46% success rate, which is shocking.
Yeah.
And this is becoming players that end up either on special teams, they're contributors, they don't have to necessarily be starters, but he has a 46% success rate. The guys he drafts are actually usable on his team, and they're actually productive for more than like a period of 2 or 3 years. Because most guys are out of the league within 3 years, and they're gone from football forever. That's just a stat.
Well, yeah, Pat. I mean, that's the thing you got to remember. Like,
The 2 guys back to back,
Yeah.
it was Belichick 1, and who's the guy from the Eagles? He was number 2. And
Bruce
Elway was top
Robinson?
the guy
5.
they just got rid of.
Not
Jerry?
Reese.
The guy they just got rid of.
No.
Fuck.
So the guy
Not
before
Jerry. I
that?
want to say Jerry Reese, but it's not Jerry Reese.
Was it Reese? Reese sounds right.
Give me a second. It'll come to me.
All right, so
Whatever.
it was like Belichick, the guy from the Eagles. Elway was
Howie
top
Roseman.
5. Roseman, thank you.
Roseman.
Howie Roseman.
I knew
He
it
was
gonna
he
come
was
to me.
top 5, and the guy from LA, the Rams. He skyrocketed because he's only been in the league for like 5-6 years, but his draft picks
His
have
draft picks have been
been dead
phenomenal.
on.
But
So
they've also shopped the world to get those picks.
yeah,
I mean,
I mean they actually give away all their picks now. So
Yeah,
I
now
mean
they're just
the
like-
chance of success is extremely high because he's not
Les
picking anybody
Snead
else.
was, in L.A.
Yes, he was.
Les Snead.
Perfect.
That's the guy. That's
So
I was trying.
but that's my
these
point.
The names are
the
slipping through.
biggest thing with
cracks
this is,
right now.
Pat, you got to think there's 32 GMs in the league. They each have 7 rounds, usually to pick. Sometimes more, sometimes less. And none of them hit at the success rate that Bill Belichick ever has.
He,
Yeah, I know.
he hits on
The 3rd through 6th rounds.
no, not even that. Belichick is a fucking mastermind when it comes to guys not drafted.
Yeah, he is.
Do you know
J.C.
True.
Jackson.
what? Do you
That's
know
true.
when J.C. Jackson's a perfect point?
Yeah.
Do you know when guys don't get drafted, their agents call up the Patriots because they have a better shot to make the roster on the Patriots than any other team, and
Yeah,
that's a
because
fact.
All Bill has to see
Dude,
is
that's
one
fast. They're gonna
tangible.
do that.
Bill sees one tangible, and he's like, I could work with that.
He does.
Yeah.
J.C. Jackson should have been a second-round pick in the draft. Do you know why? Off-field problems in college. He was a fuck-up. He did a lot of bad shit he shouldn't have done, and he didn't show up to meetings and shit like that. And then he went completely undrafted because everyone said the guy's a huge douchebag. He came to the NFL. He's in Belichick's system, which nobody likes to talk about, of Belichick's like accountability.
Or
if
as
you're not
what's
here,
more commonly known as the Patriot way.
yeah.
Do your
If you're not here doing your shit, you're not going to play. And J.C. Jackson, everyone's like, he's going to replace Gilmore. He's better than Gilmore. Like that's all I've heard this offseason is like he's better than Gilmore now.
J.C. Jackson.
Gee, look at his name, Michael Jackson. It's like people just make up shit. And like he went from
They're like, his first initial is J, his second initial is C. That's Jesus Christ. His last name is Jackson.
Listen,
which is
he's
Michael
gotta be
Jackson.
God.
He's a con. He is like if Michael Jackson and Jesus Christ had a love child and it played cornerback.
listen. Don't put that shit on Twitter because that will probably catch fire. They're like Jesus Christ Jackson. They'll put him on the cross and they'll do all kinds of crazy shit. Like Twitter's
Too late.
insane.
Wait,
already
so
did
why
it.
wouldn't we do it?
Yeah. No. Anyway.
Where did this come from? Us.
Anyway, so
What about Kahil Harry and over DJ Metcalf? What about never being able to get a good wide receiver?
Well,
But
so
that's
the
what-
Metcalf thing we've already beat up a
but
bunch.
listen,
How many other teams slept on Metcalf?
All of them.
listen.
Twice.
Yeah, he was
Everyone.
drafted.
I mean, but we can do that. How many teams slept on Tom Brady? You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
you had one team that slept on Peyton Manning, and oops, or almost did. That almost fucked him.
Ryan Leaf.
You know what I mean? Like that. The Colts almost fucked up and took Ryan Leaf over Peyton Manning. Like that would have fucked him forever. We can go through this every single year.
On how many quarterbacks?
It destroys me when I go back and I look at like the 02 draft and I see like Denver taking like Ashley Lally over Ed Reed, and I'm like, no.
Why did I watch this?
Or Chad Johnson for that matter. Like I'm just like, fuck.
And then, but like so we're spoiled, Pat. Belichick, name a offensive lineman that Belichick's drafted that he hasn't hit on. It seems like the Patriots are an offensive line factory. Huh?
Maybe just easily a Malcolm Brown. Maybe this is too.
That's defensive line. I said offensive line.
Dominic Easley was one, and we first guessed the Dominic Easley pick on this show.
The dude had no knees.
When we were like, why is he taking a guy with
a midget.
no knees? And yeah, it just didn't make any sense.
Undersized.
No
but
knees,
maybe,
midget.
you know what, though? Maybe he saw something in him like he saw in, I don't know, Rob Ninkovich or, you know, Roosevelt Colvin or one of these other guys that he grabs off the scrap heap in the middle of the free agent period. And
he turned Lawrence
day
Maroney
4.
into an almost 19-0 running back, and everyone was like, this dude sucks. And he ran him to the ground for 5 years.
This is true.
Antonio Smith, who's like working in a fucking factory or something, they said before he came to Patriot.
Antonio,
back.
The running back for 01 and 03?
He was working in a fucking factory before the Patriots picked him
I mean, but think of it, like, the Patriots draft offensive linemen better than anybody else. And then you can say the Pittsburgh Steelers draft wide receivers better than anybody else. Certain teams have certain, niches of what they know good at.
Yeah,
Belichick has always been a lines guy. He's always good to big boys and, big, thick boys. That's Belichick's thing, is he loves those big, fat guys.
Those sticky boys.
I heard Trent Brown was available. I'm like, oh, bring that big, beefy bitch back.
Well, it's like the Justin in the chat is like he picked Sony Michel over Chubb. And I'm like, okay, great, but we can go back through every single team who made a draft pick at a position and say they fucked up. Like, we're gonna look back at the Raiders draft from this year and they're gonna be like, why the fuck did they take Henry Ruggs over Jerry Jeudy?
Or CeeDee
Lamb.
Or Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson.
Or shit, what's the guy from T. Higgins? T. Higgins too.
Yeah,
He was a second-round pick, yeah.
Why did they take it? Like, we can do that with literally every single team. Every single
year, exactly.
And Pat, I guarantee you, 10 years from now, you're going to look back at this draft that just happened. You're not going to know 25 out of the 32 names on that first-round pick list.
I know.
Go back 10 years ago.
Who's the guy you wanted, Sean? You were pissed about
He wanted Mims.
Guy.
I wanted Denzel Mims, and he went to the worst-case scenario, which is the fucking hellhole known as the New York Jets, and he's just going to waste away there. And then Denzel Mims passed everybody on the depth chart in New York besides Jamison Crowder. Mm-hmm. And Jamison Crowder's probably going to get cut, and I'm super interested.
Okay, you're going to be the next Joey.
No, I said I'm interested.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
never
say
said they're coming.
I didn't say, look, we're signing this motherfucker.
Oh
Just
my
squeeze
God,
my
it's
nipples.
time for the trailer.
He's not like
shit.
it's not like he's sitting there like, oh my God, Hank Baskett is a free agent.
Oh
we
my
gotta
God,
get
he's
him.
into transgenders.
Pat,
And it's tough where we grew up because the media, I listen to
Dad,
sports
shut
radio all
up.
goddamn day. Everyone's like, oh, Belichick sucks as GM, so it's tough here because I think it's just a hot thing to rip Belichick now.
If Belichick is a shitty GM, I'll take him in Denver. I'll take him right now.
Yeah, I mean, going to all those Super Bowls and winning a bunch of them, it makes him a shitty GM.
All right.
Then what's a good one?
I got to go on my Twitter really quick because Mark Bertrand has tweeted at me 9 times in the last 10 minutes. Holy shit.
Really? Wow.
What did you do now?
I know, right?
I told him he was full of shit because he didn't know the cap hit for Marcus Mariota. Oh, he's blowing up about the Marcus. Honestly, what the fuck are you talking? Oh, Mark Bertrand is shoot mad at me on Twitter.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Nice.
What the fuck are you talking about? Well, he doesn't know his stats and economic stuff about Marcus Mariota's contract, if it's a possibility.
Oh.
It's like I heard of this
Sean,
something he gets like $19 million.
Sean,
it's not literally $19 million. You're talking about cash versus cap. It's going to be a lot cheaper if we get him, and then you don't count the 2022 year. Oh, my God. This is why I hate 98.5, because 98.5 just spews out shit, and they don't know what they're talking about.
You gotta understand, Pat. This is like nerd Sean coming out.
So
Sean, like in the off season, he's just like,
just
give me my book, give me my pencil.
I'm working on. I'm gonna screenshot this. We can get it.
What, the Mark Bertrand stuff?
Yes.
He's telling me what the fuck am I talking about. So the biggest thing right now is that if you're gonna go after Marcus Mariota, not to get too far off the topic to go off the other things, but
Well, no,
it's
because
a different.
this is a good segment because we're going to get into the
That's what I
carousels.
do. I get you guys off topic.
Yeah, it's a different mindset of like, yeah, his number in 2022, if he's still here, is going to be a huge number for a
would
quarterback that might not be a starter. But you're gambling on that 1 year, and it's going to be cheap for you. You can get him probably for a 5th or 6th round pick because the Raiders are interested in moving that contract because they need to make salary cap room. That's just a fact of it. And then there's a cash versus cap. The Patriots have 60-something million plus right now, and that's including if they don't lose guys like a Hightower, or if Cannon decides he wants to retire.
Yeah.
If Cannon retires, we save $7 million. If they restructure a couple of guys, if they get rid of Gilmore is $13 million against the cap right now. If they get rid of Gilmore and they trade him for a 2nd-round pick, which I think is plausible, that opens up another $13 to $14 million. I mean, there are things that can happen here in which you can still have $65 million and you can get a quarterback. I personally think now, from everything that's being thrown out there, you might see Belichick go get 2 or 3 quarterbacks. They'll all be the mid guys. Like, you'll see him go after. I like the idea of switching picks with the 49ers, switching 2nd-round picks.
Getting back Jimmy G.
And we get back Jimmy G because they're interested in Sam Darnold and they're interested in going a different direction already. So I'll swap 2nd-round picks for Jimmy Garoppolo. I'll sign Cam back because what does it hurt? Because Cam probably will have no of the suitors.
Yeah, right.
And then if it costs me a 5th or 6th-round pick for Marcus Mariota, why not have Garoppolo, Mariota, and Cam all come into camp? You guys figure it out.
Now, I still
What
really
I
do
would
feel
like is
that
Mac Jones, Jimmy G, and Cam Newton.
See, I still feel that
listen,
Cam
Mac
Newton ends up in
Jones is going to
Washington.
get picked way earlier than you want him to be. Everyone's on that Mac Jones train right now. Everyone's like, yo, he's better than Tua. Like, the whole thing right now is building up to the draft is he's a smarter athlete than Tua. And now everyone's going to run with that because as soon as you hear he's better than Tua and Tua's a top 3 pick, people, they're just going to run with it now.
Yeah, I don't know. I still feel like Cam's going to end up in Washington. Somehow or another, Riverboat Ron's going to bring him back there.
Hey, if you
I
get,
like Hinkie. I want to take Hinkie as like a throw-in option next to like
Yeah,
Jimmy
but that's
G.
fine.
You
He's in
can't-
there. You got to put him as a backup.
he already
or
signed a
whatever.
3-year deal extension. He's staying with Washington football team.
Yeah.
They got to change that name. Change it to something else. Change it to
Redskins, as
anything.
Joey would say.
What?
Just
The Redskins, as Joey would still call them.
yeah.
Of course,
Oh,
they're always
absolutely.
gonna be the
Yes,
Redskins.
they're the Redskins.
Just like it's the San Diego Superchargers.
I do,
San Diego Superchargers.
I do like the name Red Wolves. I think that's kind of cool.
What?
The Red Wolves.
It doesn't matter what they name them. It'll always be fucking lame in my eyes because it just should have been the Redskins like it always has been.
It
But,
still
I mean-
might be the Redskins.
But if it comes out the Red Wolves, someone will claim that's racist to wolves.
What
or
if they
something.
put red, skins?
They'll be like, they'll be like, you're.
Or like hyphen it.
Dog
What if they
dicks.
hyphen it? What if they hyphen it?
No,
Red
remember-
hyphen
The
skins?
Red Rockets.
No, the Red Rockets. There we go. Now we're speaking my
Just a
language.
penis.
Picture of a dog on
And
one
it's just
side.
it's
picture
just
of a
the
cock
stick
on the
figure
other.
drawing that Cartman drew for the
Yep,
Redskins. Where it's
that's
just
exactly
like
what it is.
the stick figure with the tits and the dick, fucking the other stick figure with the tits and the dick
Jared.
in the ass. Like, it would just be that one. It'd be that much fun. It would be a lot of fun.
Joey, what's the next big quarterback trade? Does Dak get moved? Does Watson get moved? Does any big name get moved in the end?
Well, we're about to have a serious.
So should we go to that trailer now
Yeah, we
before?
should do it. We
I
should
can
do it.
hang up and listen.
Oh no, you have to hang up and watch.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, let's play the trailer.
All right,
So,
hey,
so
thanks,
we're gonna,
Pat.
Thanks, Pat, as always, for the call,
You
brother.
guys are the best. I'll talk to you next week. Have a good
Hey,
week, guys.
shake it easy.
Later, man.
All right, so let's play this trailer. Now,
So
keep in mind,
this is
it's not
getting
really a
into
trailer.
our-
It's just
yeah.
a bunch of stills and a voiceover.
Are we gonna preface it?
Yeah, we can preface it. So the quarterback carousel has already been at large with Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff.
Wait, hold on. I need to go make another drink for this first.
What the hell?
What
Where do
the
you need to go?
hell?
You don't have your
How
fridge
long
up
you
here?
gonna be gone?
2 seconds.
No, you're not. You're
One.
a liar.
A two.
You haven't got out your
A
$15,000 chair, you bastard.
Three.
Shut up and talk.
How is it not up here in the fridge? Isn't that the whole point in the fridge up here?
I don't know. He probably unplugged it. He's gonna claim some kind of illegal scam. Anyway.
So, quarterbacks are already on the move.
Yep.
Things are already changing.
Things are changing.
Things are definitely changing. You got
Uh,
new coaches being hired, GMs switching around, people getting hired.
One of us is a psychopath and changed his profile picture to a quarterback that's not even on the team.
And that's still on the same team that he's going to be on next year right now.
So here's a spoiler. If you don't know who that psychopath is, it's Joey. And Joey's profile picture, if you are friends with him on the El Facebook Rooney, it is Deshaun Watson in full orange getup.
The big old number 4.
Great manipulation.
Denver.
Someone did a great, fantastic
Yeah, honestly,
Photoshop job.
It looks great.
Looks immaculate. Bravo. Whoever did that,
Looks good.
you did good in Photoshop. I need your help in life because I would love to Photoshop a bunch of other shit, but you did good, kid. So, I see Joey's profile picture, and I instantly think...
Our group chat
and
lights up.
No. Oh, yeah, no. It
Yes,
does. But I
did.
instantly commented on Joey's picture because I, for some reason, said I read it as a narrator would, and that's where this came from, the next clip segment.
Yes, and so big
Submitted
shout out
for your approval by a fan.
Shout out to Rob for doing this for us because this was
Rob, you big bitch, where are you?
He
not even washing his
recorded
loins.
it.
This is your loins, Rob.
All right, let's check it out.
All right, here we go.
From the creators of the Lakers are signing Giannis, and Drew Lock will be an MVP in 2020, comes the next big thing. Joey Fats being a bigger annoying bastard than ever before, with new lines like, Deshaun Foster is the best QB in the NFL today, and Deshaun Jackson may throw for 6,500 yards in Denver this year alone. So step right back and buy your tickets because things are going down. Joey Fatson, Deshaun Watson to Denver.
Oh, how about there we go.
There we
Okay.
go.
Okay.
Oh, wait. So,
Yeah,
wait.
We were misinterpreting. We had sound for the video,
So-
but not sound for us.
Yeah, okay.
Did we have sound for the video?
Yeah, no, I think we did.
Yes,
because
we had
everybody
sound
was
with the
laughing.
video.
Okay.
The video and that sound, but I had to mute us because otherwise it plays on
Yeah,
both
true.
channels for some reason. So, yeah, it's one of those little quirky things about OBS. If you're ever doing a podcast and you hear OBS, but fuck you, Jared. But no, I had so much goddamn fucking fun picking out the pick. Now, I'm going to get better at this. I'm going to make this like into an animated thing.
Oh, yeah, we're going to do something nice.
And we're gonna have something fun, and it's gonna be good. I thought that was great, though.
Yeah, Rob, that was awesome.
I thought Rob did a good job. Now Rob just recorded that through Facebook Messenger and sent it. That's
sent
why
it to us,
That's
yeah.
why it sounded kind of raspy and like low, like like a phone call because
That worked.
it basically was. So we can get Rob I'll send Rob some equipment and he can he can we'll send him a mic and he can record these for us.
So
on
if
a
anybody
regular
knows
basis.
Rob, I'm not going to throw his whole name out there because I don't know if he wants his whole name out there.
Yeah,
but
no.
Rob is a diehard Falcons fan,
Yes.
like it.
and
I like it.
I almost saw him kill himself in 2016. Like he had to work with a bunch of Patriots fans, and he's just like, I'm just going to blow myself up.
I mean,
I'm
can
going to
you
come in
blame
here
him?
strapped, son.
Can you blame him?
Dude, no, he was like the nicest kid too, and he like if he would have won, I would have been so happy for him. And he comes in the next day, and everyone's like, "Bah!" Like no one, like I didn't laugh at him because I love Rob, but everyone was like, "Bro, what happened to your Falcons?" Buck, 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 doing all the chicken noises and shit like that. And he's just sitting there, it's like in like his like vintage like Deion Sanders jersey, and he's like, "Why don't you eat 2 dicks?"
Not one, but 2.
I mean, just what else do you say at that point other than
right.
like that's like how I felt about like when the Patriots beat the Seahawks in the Super Bowl and everybody was like, fuck you, Fats, like like Brady gets his 4th, ties Montana, and I just felt like Eminem in 8 Mile, like I'm still standing here saying fuck the free world, like that's all you can do at that point. Like, what do you think? I'm gonna go away? No, I'm gonna put up 2 now, not 1, 2.
Joe is
So,
like,
so you're going to have
2.
2 pictures of Deshaun Foster up there as your
2
profile
pictures of
picture?
Deshaun Foster.
if that deal goes through, I think I have to quit the show on principle.
Dude, so Joey puts up the picture. Sean says what he says on Facebook, right? Instantly, so we're going to give you the backstory on this and how this came
I got
about.
like 10 likes on some shit like
Yeah,
that on
absolutely.
Joey's picture post. I'm like,
So all of a sudden, because Sean's response is, "Oh God, no!" And instantly, as he's saying that, in my mind, I'm like, "I already know where Sean's going with this." Sean's going with the, Joey is going to be the most obnoxious son of a bitch I've ever seen in my life if this goes down. And he puts that on a group chat, and I'm like, thank God. I was like, yes, that's exactly where I was going with it.
I resent that because
You don't even know his name.
we got LeBron. I wasn't this obnoxious.
What?
I wasn't that obnoxious.
Don't you dare be claiming that. This has been the plan all along.
And then AD.
I wasn't-
AD was this with Russell Westbrook and Dame Lillard too. Come on down.
I wasn't that obnoxious about getting Antonio.
You can
Davis.
probably
Who's
get
Antonio Davis?
Antonio Davis.
you
Look,
can
he
probably
can't even say
you can probably
names.
get Westbrook now for like used scratch tickets.
Yeah,
Probably,
legit.
but I don't really know if I want
Be
Westbrook.
like,
at this
hey, look,
point.
here's Lonzo Ball for the second time. Give us Westbrook. Thanks.
Thank God Anthony Davis. It's just a calf strain too. It's not an Achilles injury. So let's just
Listen, he's
rest
out
his ass.
He's
Rest
out a
his
month.
ass.
He's out a month.
Yeah,
Minimum.
that's fine. We have LeBron fucking James. He can carry the load. It's no big deal.
So back to our original.
But I don't think I was that obnoxious. I don't think I would be that obnoxious.
Yup.
I mean,
Okay, this is coming from the same person that we heard. King Case. And
Dude, we have it over here. Like,
yeah, literally,
like,
we have everything written down. The
last year, you're like
MVPs.
Drew Lock MVP, him and Mahomes.
I mean, if
gonna put
Drew
up just as many
if Drew hadn't
touchdowns.
gotten hurt, I'm just saying.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just saying.
Go. And then Case what was it? Case Keenum. He was going to be the next big thing in Denver. He was just going to
He was the next He was the next great placeholder.
bullshit. You're like, dude, he had a great year in Minnesota. He's going to come and just continue course.
He did have
August 13th,
He did have a great
2020.
year in Minnesota.
Drew Lock is an MVP by week 15.
Ooh.
That was assuming
Just a bit outside.
there's something you didn't put on there. Assuming everybody stays healthy, which
Oh,
they didn't.
yeah.
There's always that
Yeah,
stipulation.
there's always a clause. Don't you know there's a clause?
Come on, bro. Didn't
A
you
crutch.
listen?
There's always a crutch.
If you stop,
Listen, how about this one? We should have put it over under MVP or not playing at all. Almost off the team.
see if he would stop voting for Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders and read The Art of the Deal by the God Emperor
I
Donald
didn't
Trump.
vote for Bernie Sanders.
He would know these things. This is why I always win because I can't lose. I rigged the game so
I did vote for
can't
Hillary.
lose.
I didn't vote for Bernie.
Oh, we know you voted for Hillary. We roasted you on it.
Yeah, you voted for Biden
I don't like
too,
talking
didn't
my.
you? No, actually, no.
Oh!
I don't really like talking politics.
He wrote in Jill Stein or some lame shit.
I wrote in Ben Stein is what I wrote in.
Because you can win his money.
That's all I was gonna say. Give me that $1,000. I'm still broke.
Yeah. No, he wrote. He wrote in Yang Gang. He was just like Yang Gang. 2024.
Oh my! I forgot all about Andrew Yang.
Wow, that was your boy.
He remember when he like drew the Yang Gang
Yeah, hell
chain
yeah.
around my cat that I was walking.
Yep.
The other picture of my
Yeah,
cat.
he was
I
like,
forgot all
"Yang gang,
about that."
yang gang."
Because I was walking my cat in that trailer. That was
I saw.
that was the thing. I looked for the most obnoxious picture
I don't
of
know what was a
myself I
better
could
picture.
find.
You with the cat or Sean with the deuces?
My man wanted to give us $12,000 a year for no reason other than like to stimulate.
Other than
Other than
fuck it, why
He'd
not?
be like, listen, y'all need to smoke weed. Here's money.
Right? He's like,
Go get high.
That's what I went to Yang
Like, what's your
Gang
name?
came
My
out.
name's Towley.
Everyone's buying gold chains and shit like that. Yang Gang. I'm like, hell yeah,
Yang Gang.
I'll buy a fucking gold chain if you give me $12,000 a year.
I'll buy a gold Yang Gang chain. Fuck it. Just
Yang Gang.
because it's funny.
Won't
now.
fit my style. They'll be like, what's that grandfather doing wearing a gold chain? I'm like, I don't know.
You're like, little do you know I'm 26, motherfucker. I'm just
Be like,
great.
why don't you come over here and let me backhand you with
Come
all
here,
my with
Grandpa.
all my rings?
So, Deshaun Watson,
Deshaun Watson,
not Deshaun Foster.
Or Deshaun Jackson.
not to be confused
good
with one of the
job,
other many
Echo.
Deshaun's in the NFL.
But it's amazing how much you fuck up that name so often.
Now,
Because
he
Deshaun
might
Foster
be-
was like it was ingrained into my head.
Listen, and that might be the starting quarterback
That was-
for the Denver
That
Broncos.
was 16 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long ass time
Yeah,
ago.
it was ingrained into my head.
You love that man or
I
something?
do. I actually love Deshaun Foster.
Carolina Panthers.
That touchdown that he had when he jumped across the goal line in
Yeah.
the Super Bowl, I love that.
Yeah, that was
it's
pretty
actually, I actually might get that fucking shit framed. I love that picture so much.
You could
like,
probably just-
Rodney Harrison, like fuck,
Dude,
like,
why don't we
behind him.
reach out to Deshaun Foster and just be like, dude, what are you doing?
Like, you should come
We
on
should.
the show.
Yeah.
I say your name all the time.
Yeah.
Text B right now and tell him I want Deshaun
He's
Foster.
in like Cabo or something
Sure,
like that.
he's still working. He's still on the goddamn clock.
Anyway.
So
2021.
Deshaun Watson
Yep.
suddenly has a lot of steam going to Denver.
Not as much as today's team.
Well, yesterday or 2 days ago when it first came about, there was a lot of
So who's
steam.
today's team?
Today's team is the Carolina Panthers, who has said they will give Christian McCaffrey
Whoa.
2 first-round picks and money with Teddy Bridgewater for Deshaun Watson.
That's a big thing. The
Yeah,
only
but now-
the
but-
only
but-
problem
But
is
you're bringing Deshaun Watson there without McCaffrey. So what's the point?
They think they can figure it out.
But
So Robbie Anderson's your answer?
I don't fucking know.
The problem with Deshaun Watson and all these teams, yes, Carolina could be like, we'll throw you everything in the kitchen sink. If Deshaun Watson says,
Doesn't
I'm
wanna
not going
go.
to Carolina, he's not going to Carolina. He has no trade clause.
He says he has interest in everybody, though. He said he has interest in the Jets.
So I've heard, well,
He likes
in the last
players
few
on the Jets.
days, the two teams that have emerged that he has the most intrigue in were San Francisco and Denver. And when asked about the New York Jets, the interest has dwindled to a point of,
Listen, San Francisco makes sense.
San Fran makes sense. Denver
They have-
makes
Oh,
sense.
They
my
have
God.
players and a coach that can actually put Watson in a position to win.
I would actually be. I thought even in the same conference as me, and I'd be like, "Ooh, that's a team I don't want to face."
What, San Fran?
San Fran with Watson.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
Especially if they keep what they
San
have.
Fran will be a great spot
I would
for
be
him.
uncomfortable.
Watson,
I'd be
with
like,
him
"Fuck."
Let's be honest. What are
Shanahan?
Shanahan.
There you
thank
go.
you. I was
Let-
going to say Schottenheimer.
the
because
the
you know
three?
we're
I think the three best spots realistically for Watson to go and have the most success while being able to capitalize on himself and promote himself.
Mm-hmm.
Denver, San Fran, Miami. I think right there, those are your big three. The Jets as a fringe team.
Miami, no. I'm going to replace Miami with Chicago.
Chicago?
Chicago. I think Chicago could benefit
He'd be the
him
best.
well.
He'd be the best quarterback in
They've ever
Chicago's last 35, 40 plus years.
Yeah, pretty much.
Probably ever.
Yeah.
Sid
I'm,
Luckman.
Yeah.
Almost ever.
Yeah, ever. I'm
All
going to
but
say
one.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. But Allen Robinson might not be there. Like, there's a lot of things in Chicago going on that it might not make sense for him to go there.
Yeah, and the
You know
only
what I'm saying?
thing, the only
thing
reason
with San Francisco is they're young, they're all signed, and they're probably going to be together for at least another 3 years.
Maybe.
See, I like Deshaun Watson. So let's look at the upside to each one of these, right? Deshaun Watson goes to San Francisco. He's got a stable of running backs behind him. He's got a
Wide
decent
receivers,
offensive
he's
line. He's got one of the
tight
best tight
ends.
ends in the league. He's got tight ends, a defense that can ball out when they need to.
And a smart coach.
And then on top of that, let's think about this. If he goes to San Francisco, holy fucking shit
The
is
West-
the NFC West loaded.
Yeah, the NFC West is
The Arizona
division.
Cardinals are the worst team, and they're probably like 10-6.
And Russell Wilson's like, "Get me the fuck out of here."
Yeah, legit.
Unless
listen,
Russell Wilson.
Deshaun Watson goes to the West.
Which-
Wilson's like, hey, you know, them Cowboys look pretty good.
We'll get to Russell Wilson on the back end of this discussion,
You
but
said
right
Patriots
now,
wrong.
I said Cowboys. You're still getting Carson Wentz.
if Russell Wilson goes to the Patriots,
savage.
I swear to fucking God, I'm going to lose my goddamn
What,
shit.
Wilson?
Yeah.
No, he's gonna. If he goes anywhere,
If he came,
it's
if he came to
Dallas.
the Patriots, I'm getting a 3 jersey with Bok on the back of it, custom
Oh
made.
my God! Yes, you should.
You'd have to.
You'd have to.
And then I get a Yang Gang chain just to make seal the whole deal. Everyone's gonna become so confused.
And then he's going to be like, he's going to like subscribe to Sierra's OnlyFans for whatever reason. Like,
She has an OnlyFans.
I mean, I'm just
You see how
assuming she
excited
just,
he just got?
I was shocked.
I mean, doesn't every girl have an OnlyFans?
Yeah, but she's
now?
like a
Probably.
Nickelodeon girl now.
Wait,
so,
like-
is she the one that eats ass? Oh, that's Dwayne Wade's wife. Yeah, was it Gabrielle Union or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah?
what?
Damn, she gets down like that?
You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
They got-
Gabrielle
they got-
Union. Wait, Gabrielle Union was the one from Bad Boys
Bad
2,
Boys
right?
too, yeah.
Yeah.
She was in a lot of other things too.
Dude,
Bro,
how have you not
she-
seen this story that they
do not
eat each other's asses and
Like,
stuff
Gabrielle
like that?
Union is
I
one
don't
of the like most smoking hot women I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well,
I don't understand what this
if
is
she
going on.
told me to punch my wife in the face on Christmas morning
Another
in
one?
front of
Here
the
it
kids,
How many? What's the list that you have now?
it's a long
That's
list.
that's as good of a list as the Lakers
I would-
team in
I would
2024.
I would at least consider it. I would
Think
at least
about that
consider
list. Which list is bigger? All the players going to the Lakers in 2 years, or the list of women that can tell Joey to punch him in the face and he leave his wife?
But find me one woman on that list that's not worthy of being on it.
I bet you I could find one.
And I would challenge both of you, not publicly, but I would challenge both
Oh,
of you.
Brian might be right.
What?
Yeah, don't you remember that? That
Yeah,
was
Yeah,
like,
she
that's
was
true.
like a hermaphrodite
That's
thingy,
what we-
right?
that's what-
Hermaphrodite.
no, like that was the big
He
thing. Like, when
combined-
no, the big thing was when she was first coming out. Like when she was.
yeah,
first
yeah, I
like,
remember. Like, 2005.
and she was a man. Oh, Lauren caught him! Lauren caught him! Finally, she caught him. I love it. I love it.
She's heard this before. She
Yeah,
already
but she
knows.
finally caught you on air. It's great.
She already knows.
Yeah, but remember when Ciara first came out? They were like, she was a man.
Yeah, whatever.
And it's like she birthed children.
It's
I mean, I'm
2021.
No. She was born with I think she had. Now
Go
this
on.
goes back to.
This is like 98.
Wait, what movie does this go back to? Where it's
Movie?
if it's an oversized clitoris, it's just a small penis,
Wow.
right?
Oh, so they had to like.
They had to what do they grind
So
it
they
down or something?
circumcised the clit?
Yeah, they like grind it down a little bit. you
Oh,
know?
Lauren, big mad.
This is really getting off topic. This is not
good.
sports talk.
This is good.
Well,
where
it's
Lauren gets
sports
big
related
bad.
because
It's just not sports related.
So anyway,
it is sports related because
it
Sierra,
came up in the group chat. all right?
Sierra, who has a schlong, is married to Russ Wilson, who might be the Patriots quarterback next year. That's sports
You said,
related.
you said Dallas wrong.
This is 7 steps, like 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever, or
And
6
Lauren
degrees
is
of Kevin
downstairs filing for a divorce.
Bacon. I mean, maybe.
Either that or she's making a list. What are you doing? You just made the list, motherfucker.
Click.
Oh,
I was like, you have the pen. Sean.
Where's Lima to give us the you just made the list gift? That's Lima's thing.
Right?
Lima's a he's a national treasure. But no,
So
the NFC West is going to be out of fucking control.
Oh, if Watson goes
if
there, oh my
Watson
God.
goes to San Fran and that division stays intact, now you've got Wilson, Stafford, Watson, and the midget. And the midget might
being
be
the worst one.
The
That's
midget
not
might be the
even-
worst one with the but he might have the best fucking arm out of all of them.
Stafford's got a can.
no, he has a great arm, but
Great.
I
Now
worry
you guys
about.
have to conjure up memories of my wife's already. She already has a list now. I love you, sweetie.
I already have a list.
Is it like the list from like Billy Madison?
Yep,
List?
same list.
Like,
She
yeah.
and then she puts on makeup and lipstick
And then,
after she
like,
crosses
you
the name
cross
off.
one off. So did Joey's just get circled?
Hey, actually, 25 years ago today, Happy Gilmore came out.
25 years ago today. Happy
Stop.
Gilmore came out?
Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison? 'Cause we
Was
were just talking
was
Billy
that part?
Madison.
Was that part Billy Madison?
No, you just said
I fucked
Billy
it up.
Madison was the
Billy
list.
Madison was the
I fucked
the
that up.
Steve
Yeah,
Buscemi
Steve
was the
Buscemi,
list.
That's
yeah.
why I was like, are you talking Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore?
I mixed them up. I thought he was in Happy Gilmore. God
they
damn
were
it.
in both.
Yeah, they did a video today, back and forth. He went to go. Adam
Shooter
Sandler did
McGavin.
the.
Yeah, did you see
Adam
it?
Sandler did the long drive with and it still worked.
Dude, he fucking blasted it.
Yeah, and then
Did you
Shooter.
see it? I'm gonna have to tag you in it.
Yeah, it's 2 good videos. They tweet each
Him
other.
and Shooter went at each other on Instagram.
Who?
Adam Sandler
and Shooter, the
Shooter
actor,
McGavin.
yeah.
What the fuck's his name?
Shooter McGavin.
No,
Shooter-
it's Rob something.
Schneider. I don't know.
Honestly, I wouldn't fucking know if I guessed it
It's
because
Shooter McGavin.
It's
Everyone
just
calls
Shooter
him.
McGavin.
Shooter McGavin, the
It's like
greatest golfer of all time.
you know, like when you get what does it call it? Cast type or-
Typecast.
typecast. Typecast, whatever.
Yeah, I got you.
You get typecast as like a certain guy.
Like Luke Skywalker's
Like
always Luke Skywalker.
Steve
It's not Mark
Carell,
Hamill.
unfortunately for Steve Carell, he'll always be known as Michael Scott.
No, he got out of it.
Nah, he'll always be known as Michael
Nah, he
Scott.
definitely got
Name
out
me
of
one thing he's done since then.
He's done a lot of stuff
He's done
since
a lot
then.
of shit.
I know.
40-year-old
Name one.
virgin.
No,
No.
not since. That was before.
was
Or during.
No, that was during.
During.
What about Anchorman?
Before.
No, ain't the second one?
Anchorman? Yes.
He
That
does,
was
he
like
does a lot-
2003.
He does a lot of serious movies now, though.
Yeah, he does.
And
he
like
does
rom
family
coms.
I know.
Yeah.
Michael Scott.
Oh.
No one knows
Listen,
him as
no,
Michael
the
Scott.
best
It's-
one that you could use is Mark Hamill and Luke Skywalker. Like,
It's like
Mark Hamill is Luke Skywalker.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. Perfect example. Right. Because I think
Shit, in Jay and Silent Bob, he played a guy on there that was Luke Skywalker,
I
even
think
though
he-
it wasn't Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
Played
well-
Cockknocker.
But the thing with Star Wars though was like
with the
what's it-
bong,
Harrison Ford's career was the only one to not get ruined by that whole series.
100%.
Yeah, he said he hated this movie.
100%.
I mean, it was just like fuck.
By the time Samuel L. Jackson did it, he was already established.
I'm a damn Jedi.
I think he just kills a bunch of kids.
No, I was not Samuel
That was not
Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson.
That was Anakin.
That was Anakin. That was the
You
young,
sure?
That was
the young
Order
Mark Hamill.
66. That was
You
Anakin.
sure?
That was
I'm
the
a
young
billion
Mark
percent
Hamill.
of it.
You're probably right.
Hayden Christensen.
Honestly, I thought about this tonight because I was watching the Family Guy
I know
something
you sent that
something
to us.
Dark Side.
Yeah.
And I was watching that, and then I was like, wow, I should have just had my wife watch the Family Guy Star Wars
Same thing.
instead of actually trying to. Because when I tried to get my wife to watch the real Star Wars, she was bored out of her
Way too
fucking
long.
skull. They are a lot slower than I remember, especially like I remember getting into New Hope and being like, okay, like, all right, you got to see all 3 of them. Like, you got to watch 6 hours worth of movie, but it's worth it. I'm telling you.
And then at the end of it, you're like,
And then I'm like, yeah. And then you get to the end of it, I'm like,
all right, now you got to watch the first 3 though, even though the
I
second
don't-
3.
And then you're in hour 5 and you're like, are these bears? with hats?
Making noise. Like,
Yo, this one has a stick and eating a Snickers.
so wait, when he eats the Snickers, he turns into Chewie?
it's like, why is the 7-foot-tall Wookiee hanging out with the
Dude.
little midget bears?
Dude, and then, like, your poor wife, at hour 5, she'd be like, so I saw a slug have sex with a woman in a bikini, and little bears are attacking men.
And then she kissed her brother.
And then they made out. This makes no sense. I hate you.
Honestly, it really doesn't make sense.
It makes sense if you like it.
if you like it. But now it's. I gotta say, the original Star Wars, the original trilogy, I loved them as a kid, and I still love them now because of nostalgia.
They didn't age well.
They don't hold up.
Well, dude, they're 50 years old.
I know, but like so is the original Godzilla movie, but that still holds
Bro,
up.
The Wizard of Oz.
It's a guy in a costume.
Listen, The Wizard of Oz
Still
is
holds
old
up better than
shit.
Star Wars.
And people watch that and they're like, damn, I love this fucking movie.
That's weird.
What do you mean that's weird?
So everyone's like tripping on acid.
Yeah, well, they go through the poppy field.
Like, you know what holds up? And I saw a very, very good old friend of mine today. I ran into him in Home Depot.
This is a long talk off of quarterback.
And shut up. We shot the shit for 45 minutes. I haven't seen him in probably like a year and a half, 2 years.
Also, you're the asshole that I can't get around in the store. Like,
No,
get
no,
the
no,
fuck
no.
out of the way.
We were in the paint aisle. There was nobody around. It was fine. But we ended up shooting the shit for. Oh, wait until you see what I put. Don't worry about it.
It's black shellac.
I was going to say it's probably fucking orange.
The name of the paint
Orange and
is 100 miles per hour.
blue. The name of the paint is Denver.
That was the name of the color, 100 miles per hour. It's red. It's phenomenal.
It's Lightning McQueen.
It is. So,
Cha!
but we were in the midst of it, like throughout our 45-minute conversation, because he's one of my friends. He's one of those friends where you can not see him for 2 years or 3 years or 10 years,
And you caught it right up.
and you pick up like you talk to each other every single day, and you're just like, hey, and
Hey.
it just goes like that. He's one of those guys, and I love him to death. He's one of my favorite fucking people. One of the things that we brought up that came up during our conversation was how well the original Jurassic Park actually holds up. Because if you go back and watch it now today, it's still like a very entertaining movie. The special effects are phenomenal. The sound is great. Like, I mean,
And it still makes sense.
and it's still, it makes sense. It's like, holy shit, there's a theme park with dinosaurs, and like the power goes out because of a guy trying to steal the DNA. Like everything made sense, like almost down to like it brought it to like a very human level. And then they incorporated dinosaurs killing people into it, and you're like, this movie fucking rules.
God, I want that still to happen so bad.
What, Jurassic Park?
I would pay for it so much. It'd be like $2,000 ticket. I'm like, sold.
I'd be like,
And I'd go there.
And me and Joe get there like this.
yeah, I'm like, where's
All right, we're going.
You can have
but
all the shotguns you
listen,
want.
like
They ain't
this.
going to save you.
Listen, we're going, but we strap shotguns.
Wait,
We have more than that. Didn't you
You
just see?
went-
Look, yeah, I went like this. I put another one over here. I put another one over here.
I don't know if those are machetes. They made no noise.
Douglas is
I don't know
gonna
what you're
show.
doing.
Douglas is gonna show up like the guy from Destiny. He's like, yeah, I got all these guns.
Yeah, legit.
I'm just gonna show up with a 240. When in doubt, 240 out. But with like Jurassic Park held up really well.
You're on an island. By
It
the way.
held up. Okay, the 240s not work on islands.
240s don't work on water when you need to get the fuck off the island.
No, but they'll
Yeah,
kill
but if
everything
you're on the water, who
island.
cares? If you're in the water, who cares?
So you set up a beachhead, whatever. Elevated position, take the high ground, beachhead, boom, bow, done.
Whatever.
We take the lessons that
Listen,
we learned.
I'll go there
we
like John
take-
Wick and be ready.
We figure out.
What's John Wick going to... I don't want to get into this conversation. What is John Wick going to do against
and
dinosaur?
Brian brings up a great point in the chat. Independence Day.
Yeah. True
That's
that.
another movie that holds up really well.
Welcome to Earth.
The original one. Yeah.
Fucking great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. Best alien movie ever.
Terminator. That's another one that holds up.
Oh, well, Terminator.
I think I say Terminator's alien movie. I'm
Well,
like, how?
Terminator, and then
That's another one that
Terminator
holds up.
2 holds up extremely
Terminator
well.
2 holds up better than the first one.
Absolutely.
But the first two Terminator movies, period, hold up.
And the only
extremely
reason
well.
why the first one doesn't hold up as well is because when he walks up to that like group of like punk rock kids all naked, and he's like, "I need your clothes," and they're like, "Duh," and they come out with the switchblade, and they got like the mohawks dyed pink and shit, and they're like, "Ha ha!" And the trench coats, you're like, all right, like, I don't know if this is, like, what is this, like a fucking, like, British punk concert? Like, what's going on here? I don't quite
They
understand.
were really into the
Michael
sex
They were-
pistols.
they were very
Michael
much-
Jackson bad video.
They were very much into that at the time. But yeah, but yeah, you're right. Terminator 2 holds up. Independence Day holds up. Jurassic Park.
100%.
What other movie, like, Days of
List.
Thunder still holds up?
Yes.
Top Gun holds up?
Yes.
Like, say what you want about Tom Cruise being a fucking weirdo. The man makes great movies.
Listen, he made great movies.
Oh, no. Wait till Top Gun 2. I'm telling you right now.
It's just fucking franchise.
What do you hate? What do you hate now that he's done?
I don't like anything besides Days of Thunder and Top Gun. Cocktails is all right.
Mission Impossible
Dude,
was
Mission
great.
Impossibles?
The one we went to watch one of the Mission Impossibles in the
Yeah, the
theater.
last one with Henry Cavill.
It was awesome.
It was amazing.
Nah.
Well, yes,
gas.
Die Hard holds up.
Well, John McClane holds up in anything. Let's just be real now.
I mean, come on. A guy who's a cop goes to his wife's
All
Christmas
right,
party he doesn't want to go to.
The first three. Anything after that, though, is like.
What? It's a good day to die hard. You didn't like that?
Wait. You didn't like... Oh, the first three you like.
just-
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
the
my
first
bad,
three were
my
great.
bad. I thought you said...
Samuel Is this real go?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real go. Shit, I'm keeping this.
Hell
They-
yeah, my name is Zeus. I'll
they-
snap a lightning bolt off in your ass.
They ain't going to let you keep it. Hell there.
No, the best part is, what, because I'm black, you think I could hotwire a car?
He's like, yeah.
I ain't say that. Can you hotwire a car? I mean, I can, but it's not because I'm black.
774-992-8702. Give us a call if you want to get in on this. What movie holds up best for you? Throw it out in the chat. Give us a call and tell us if you want to call in on it and just give us a. We got about 26 minutes
movie
left.
Doesn't hold up? Back to the Future.
Also, yes.
Doesn't hold up at all.
Well, I mean,
Because that was hopes and dreams.
because we live.
And we sitting there 3 years away being like, motherfucker, my car don't float.
You know what other movie doesn't hold up from that era? A League of Their Own. Does not hold up.
Wait, A League of Our Own was past, not future.
It was chicks playing baseball in skirts. It doesn't.
But
hold
they
up.
did,
he's just shitting on it.
But they did play baseballs in skirts
It still doesn't hold
back
up.
then. It didn't have to hold up. It was about the past.
I don't know.
It was
I
past
like
It
events.
was a shitty movie.
That's be like, hey, you know that movie about World War II? Didn't hold up, bro.
Dude,
Well, wait, didn't it happen?
I love the old Blade Runner. I don't give a shit if people think that holds
There's
up
a
or
lot
not.
of World War II movies that were really bad, like Battle of
Of
the
course they
Bulge,
were really bad, but
Green Berets.
actually, you know, I had to explain to my daughter.
Actually, I think
Tron
Green
today.
Berets was Vietnam. Never mind.
Remember Tron?
Yeah.
I love Tron.
I had to explain that to my daughter today, like Tron, like this stuff, and she was like, "So, it's like Atari, but a movie?" I'm like,
Yep.
Yeah,
kinda.
Basically.
With a bunch of cutscenes with people in it and stuff, and she's like, "I kind of want to watch it, Dad."
She's like, why didn't they just get out? Like, they can't.
Literally, I was like,
or we can talk about Sean's favorite movie of all time, Avatar. That,
Is it
while
really your favorite
while
movie of all
visually
time?
stunning, was a terrible movie.
Do you not know how I feel about this?
"No,
Did you not know that Sean is James Cameron's biggest fan?
I hate James Cameron.
You didn't know
I just
this?
think he's a huge douchebag.
okay, but yet, what?
I've never watched Avatar, and I will not watch Avatar
I've never
ever.
watched it either.
Good job.
I've literally,
Honestly, if you
listen,
if you
listen,
don't
I
get
have never even watched a minute of that.
Neither have
fucking
I.
Movie.
if you didn't get a chance to watch it in IMAX 3D, don't even bother.
Oh,
Like,
don't worry, I
it's-
won't.
I didn't.
It's-
hey,
It's
I like
literally Dances with Wolves with giant Smurfs. Like that's all it is. It's
Awesome.
100% Dances with Wolves,
Well, I'm glad I didn't waste 3 hours.
and
of
it's
my
a
life.
total waste of time. But if you watched it in IMAX 3D, it was one of the most visually stunning experiences of my life in terms of like theater. It was unbelievable. My wife and I went to see it in Providence when it first came out, and like there's like ashes falling from and you're like trying to catch it. Like it was awesome in IMAX 3D. It
Who
made
was
you,
brutally murdered? You're like raining in ash. You're like,
yeah, I know. I was just like, well, I like the villain, dude. I like the bad guys. I tend to root for the bad guys in movies because honestly, I think the bad guys are the best ideas. But in the Hollywood, you know, the bad guys, they're always made to be the dummies because, you know, they're going to get outsmarted and outfoxed by the good guy, even though the good guy's just out for pussy and trying to
You
get
know what my
drunk.
first IMAX movie was? I Am Number 4.
I have number 4.
You know how awful that fucking movie was?
Well, I don't even know what that is.
I want to say Avatar was
It
my
came out
first.
when Chronicle came out, like that movie Chronicle.
Oh, okay, I know
they
what
were
it
like
is now.
one and the same, but it was like
I gotcha.
Am Number 4 versus
Avatar
Chronicle.
was the first, and then my second IMAX movie was 300,
I'm gonna say my best IMAX,
which was
movie,
fucking awesome.
Nah, the
I've only
best
seen
one
2.
for me is Transformers.
I've only seen
That
2
shit
in
was
IMAX.
dope in IMAX.
I
I
saw
didn't
it-
see Transformers
insane.
in IMAX. I just saw it.
Well, I watched Dark of the
no,
Moon.
no, I
Dark
didn't.
of the Moon. That was one that I watched, and wow, sick in IMAX.
Dark of the Moon was cool. I liked the first like 2 or 3
the
Transformers
first 3 were
movies
great.
were great. And
Then when they brought in Mark Wahlberg and shit, I was kind of like,
yeah, and then like we said last week, it was like dinosaur bots.
as much as I love the Dinobots, because that was pretty fucking cool.
Nah.
Nah, man, the Dinobots were the shit back in the day on the cartoon, bro. That was good shit.
On the cartoons.
On the cartoons, yeah. But
Whenever they brought him back, what the fuck?
what was the one where the big snaky one, like it's going through the building as it's falling down?
Big snaky.
That was the.
That was the third one, right?
I don't remember anymore.
That's the one with Mark Wahlberg. That's 4. Oh no, that's the last one with Shy. That's 3.
Okay, so that's because that's the
Dark
last
of the
one I
Moon.
saw.
That's Dark of the Moon.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's Dark of the Moon.
Okay. I don't remember anymore.
I'm just pissed off. Like Starscream had like 0 screen time in any of them.
Well, he died.
I know.
Yeah, they killed him.
Well, it was just stupid. Like I'm like, why the fuck are you gonna kill Starscream? First of all, he's got the best name out of everybody,
Yeah, he's a bitch.
except Optimus. Optimus Prime was
I like Soundwave. That was a cool name.
Shockwave.
Shockwave.
Soundwave.
Shockwave.
Oh yeah,
Shockwave was
the one
the
that has
truck.
a cat. Yeah. No, Shockwave's the Lamborghini.
What was the big ass like military truck one? Never mind. Who cares? We're going
Big
down.
ass?
The big ass military one that's on the like the GMC.
Yeah, it was in the.
That's Ironhide.
No. He was a Decepticon, not an Autobot.
Hey, Rob just joined us. Rob, you missed your own
Rob, you
goddamn
missed your video,
trailer.
pal.
Should we play it
bitch.
again for Rob?
Yeah, play it again for Rob.
You want to play it again for
Rob,
Rob?
you still
this
in
is
here?
for you.
Rob, Press F if you're still here and you want
Press
Just
F in the
joined
chat.
and you want to see the finished product.
F for your respect.
And by finished product, I mean it was.
By finished product, I mean it's like he took your sound, 5 minutes of
Yeah.
like,
Still photos
picture editing,
and an
put it in
explosion. And then I Michael Bayed it. So Rob, let me know if you want to see it. Is he in here? Is it?
there. Yeah, he's in there. He just joined.
Okay. All right. Well, let's play it again for Rob then.
Let's play it again. We'll finish our quarterback talk.
Yeah. So.
Oh yes.
Because,
We'll do
that was quarterback talk that took a large left a little bit.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like the left turns. Those are my favorite.
Always.
All right. Let's do this one more time. Ready?
Especially when they're in a circle.
From the creators of the Lakers are signing Giannis, and Drew Lock will be an MVP in 2020. Comes the next big thing. Joey Fats being a bigger annoying bastard than ever before, with new lines like, Deshaun Foster is the best QB in the NFL today, and Deshaun Jackson may throw for 6,500 yards in Denver this year alone. So step right back and buy your tickets because things are going down. Joey Fatson, Deshaun Watson to Denver.
It's so good.
I'm not gonna lie though. The explosion, like when I hear that, I'm like Lethal Weapon. Like I just hear that gunshot, I'm like Lethal Weapon 4.
The explosion is so good though. That was
I think Lethal Weapon holds up.
yes.
Yeah, but what is it holding it up to?
Cop movies in the 80s and 90s.
But again, it's not like we say Terminator holds up and all these other movies hold up because it was about the future, and it was kind of close.
Terminator wasn't about the future. It was about the future technically, but not really.
Huh?
It was present day.
Mudda.
He was
Joey,
protecting
Joey.
the kid present day.
Joey. Terminator's not about the future, Joey.
It's about protecting John Connor present day.
Joey.
If he does
Terminator's not about
live,
the future, Joey. The whole point in the movie of the Terminator was to stop
I
Skynet
know.
from
I've seen
happening.
Terminator like 4,000 times, but it's not.
Motherfucker, don't say
In
it ain't
the-
about the future.
It takes place in the 90s.
It takes place in the present day, but it is a movie about the future.
The whole preface of the movie is the future.
Yeah, I mean it starts
To
off.
save the future. It starts off in the future.
Starts off into what 2052
Yes, actually.
or is it 2025? I can't remember.
Actually, I think it's 2025.
I think it's 2025.
I think it is 2025.
Good.
And then John sends his dad back to save his mom.
Hey, we're gonna be the first people that die because those Boston Dynamic guys are killing it up there with those robots.
Fucking Abe, what the fuck are they doing?
I hope they just create an army of them.
Johnny 5 is alive.
Unbelievable.
Just do it. Just let them loose. Fuck it. Why
You see
not?
the dog? The dog one scares the shit out of me.
Why?
You can't even like kick it over. It just like finds it, like rights itself.
Yes. Like the dog one legit scares the fuck out of me.
So what
Like
I
if
want to
that
do,
thing wanted to hunt you down, it didn't matter if you're in a car or not. That thing's gonna fucking get you.
I want to find out where these
No
Boston.
bullshit.
We gotta go to Boston
Bomb
Dynamics.
them?
Google.
No, we gotta kidnap some of these robot dogs and figure out how to operate them, so that we can take them out in the back and like we can figure out how to like shoot them, like what we need to shoot them with in order to
kill him?
incapacitate them.
Yes.
Because I don't know. Like, look, like I've got an AK, I've got a 12 gauge, I've got 308s, 5.56. You know, whatever you want, I got it.
But which one is gonna be the kill shot?
But which one's going to be the most effective? Because I'm not worried about like World War III with China or North Korea or Iran or
Or the
Russia.
Civil War because
or,
like you know they're gonna be like
The
a
Civil
gun
War.
and look at it and shoot themselves.
those are those are what we would consider war against what we call soft targets. I'm worried about the mechanical army that is being raised 60 miles to our north in a lab, and everybody's just like laughing and joking about it, like, oh, look at this.
Look, he
can't-
could stand up
Look at
now.
this. He got hit by a fucking bus, and it just gets back up and then tears the roof off the bus. You're like, you don't see a problem with that? They're like, no, this is great. Think about all the good it could do.
Like this.
What good?
Have you never
What good
watched
is that
Terminator?
gonna do?
Have you never watched Terminator?
Do
Son?
people even watch movies? They're like, yeah, where do you think we get our inspiration from? I'm like, you sick fucks.
Like, didn't you
sick
see
fucks.
the end outcome? Arnold Schwarzenegger can't do that in real life, son.
So we're just gonna start conjuring up some spirits and shit. So
I'm gonna start conjuring up some fucking spirits.
Spirits?
Yeah, I'm gonna start conjuring up
What the
spirits
hell?
of
What the hell? What are we, the Witcher? all of a
fucking-
sudden?
I don't know if all the movies, anything in movies comes true, like those Terminator dogs and shit like that. I'm like, just I don't know, just conjure some demons and shit like
Listen, I'm
that.
sure there's people out there right now
I'm gonna
conjuring
con-
up some fucking demons.
I'm gonna conjure up the demons of
You ever-
armor-piercing
you ever watch-
fucking 308
You ever
rounds.
watch
That's what I'm
Dogma?
gonna
I'm
conjure
a
up.
fucking demon.
Someone get me a fucking Barrett.
It's a
50.
shit demon.
I need a BMG. Let's just go. Let's go. Let's
All
do
right.
it.
So
All right.
where does Deshaun Watson land? Let's just wrap up this box right
Let's
now.
say, roll the dice.
And here comes my point. It's retirement.
You think he goes nowhere?
I think he says, I ain't playing, and they say, call, and he says, I'm retired.
So
That's
he's
actually
gonna
a decent. That's
he's going to pull a Barry Sanders. Like, oh, I can't
Not a
leave.
bad
Well,
take.
No.
fuck you.
I think he's going to say, I quit. And he's going to go back to his house, and he's going to relax for a year. And then they're going to wait him out, and he's not really going to go anywhere. And then they're going to trade him by the deadline, or they're going to trade him next offseason. And he basically takes a whole year off.
Well, see, that's what Barry Sanders was hoping for, and Detroit never did it. They're like, oh, you want to come back? Yeah, we still own your
But
rights.
Detroit are born losers, so that
what's
doesn't
Houston?
surprise anybody. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
Oilers never won it.
But the Oilers at least had a tradition of winning and good quarterback
Well,
play
they
with
had Warren Moon.
So wait, I said
Hall of Famer,
Hall
friend
of
of the
Fame.
radio program.
Amazing person.
Def.
I said retirement.
San Francisco.
Denver, bitch.
Wow, really? No way.
So can anybody
Somehow, some way, even though John Elway is no longer the acting GM, he will sell Deshaun Watson.
can somebody
on coming to
Photoshop
Denver.
Joey's profile picture to be Godzilla wearing like that beanie and like the jersey and the number 3? Because that's all. That's
Drew
all you
Lock?
need.
It's number 4.
Oh,
Number 4.
Oh, it's 4. My bad.
Come on, how can you forget this, Tom Brady?
Yeah, that's true.
7. Whatever. All right, so Deshaun Watson. Does Russell Wilson stay in Seattle?
Yes.
Yes.
See, I don't know. This.
I hope you're right.
I love the idea that there is
This
discomfort
chatter?
there
He's-
and this chatter because I want Russ Wilson to leave Seattle like more than anything.
I'd give the moon. If you had to put a gun to my head, who do you want in the team right now for the Patriots? Russell Wilson or Watson? I'm going to take the unpopular answer, and I'm going to say Wilson. Why?
Why is that an
Why?
unpopular
That's
answer?
not unpopular
It's very
at all.
unpopular
That's
because
a slam fucking dunk to me.
nope,
Absolutely.
nope. It is very unpopular because
Wilson
one,
is just literally a here you go and nothing changes.
And
Watson is a guy that you can be like, all right, man, this is how
he
we do
doesn't
it.
cause he doesn't cause drama.
That's what I'm saying.
He
That's
just
just
wants
a
to
plug-and-play
play,
dude.
but it's because of age. That's why.
Oh,
Because
I don't
of
give a
age
fuck.
and
He's
dependability.
30-fucking-1.
But Watson's 23 or 24.
24.
31.
7-year difference.
In this day and age,
31 is 25.
In this economy,
31's 25.
it's a seller's market, damn it. Right now,
A 31-year-old quarterback is a 25-year-old player in any other
I know,
Is
position.
but it just
isn't-
sounded funny. You're like 31 is 25. And I'm like,
Stafford's what, 33?
32.
32.
Stafford has the
32?
body of a 47-year-old.
Maybe even a 49.
But what I'm saying is in this.
But
in,
you know what? He'll still
in
go out
this
there and
current
play.
era of football. I mean, look at in this era of football, you've got 43-year-old quarterbacks winning Super Bowls. The days of quarterbacks having to be tough and take beatings like they used to are
Well, that's
over.
what I'm saying. The 31-year-old
They're
quarterback is
over.
the equivalent of a 25-year-old in any other
If
position.
could you imagine if Dan Marino came in the league next year?
Dan Marino, Joe
And
Montana, Warren Moon. What
maybe-
if Warren Moon played right now? Dude retired at 43 as it was.
He
He'd
is
be
the-
like, yeah, somebody. One of the
Warren
guys that
Moon would've
one of the guys that I play
Kicks
Madden
the
with, right?
fucking shit out of this league.
Some kid simmed a season like 20 years. Joe Burrow was 56 years old and still a quarterback in the league.
What the?
I can see it.
Let me tell you something right now. If Warren Moon,
Not 56, but I can
if
see
Warren Moon started in 2000, my boy would still be a top level quarterback right now because he wouldn't be able to.
Joe
get it.
Burrow couldn't make one season.
I understand.
Well, you're not wrong, but what I think what
But
Keith
it's
is
just
getting
the
at
point,
is,
like-
and what I'm getting at is that the guys that are coming in the league, like, and maybe we are going to see the next Dan Marino and Trevor Lawrence when he comes out.
They have the best
Oh
chance.
my God, I'm in love with that kid. I'll be
Wow,
a fan
His,
of.
really?
his
No
pro
way.
day was unbelievable.
Dude,
Why?
I'll-
Because he sat there, moved around in the pocket, went
No,
on a bootleg
no,
and
no,
threw
no,
it
no,
85
no.
yards in the air.
If
No,
you know
no,
what
no.
you're looking at, you saw
He
you
just-
saw some shit. Man.
He's just like very humble about it too, and he's just like.
I probably could have made that throw better.
Yeah, exactly,
I know,
and that's
I
what I
watched
loved
it.
out of it.
I watched
And then I love the shit out of it. I
thing
think
with
I'm a big fan.
The only
You
thing
see
that
that 85 that 85-yard bomb that he threw, right? And the dude had to slide to catch it.
Yeah.
They came out of the field and was like, "Oh, it was a great toss." He was like, "Yeah."
No, not really.
He went just like this. I let him too much.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have had to slid.
Exactly.
I
Hey,
was like, wow.
Rob, if you're, do you want me to play it again right now for you? Because it is your clip.
Send it.
I mean, I can send it to you after the show is over.
Oh, he just wanted the time mark.
Oh, he went to time mark. I don't know.
we
We're
did it
live. I
twice.
can't do
We
it.
just did it about 5 minutes ago,
It was about 5 minutes ago.
and then we did it at like 9:36. 9:36 was the first one.
Yeah, bottom of the hour. So it was like between 9:35
We
and
still had Pat
9:40.
on the phone. Yeah, it was like 9:36, right around there.
So, what were we just doing? I'm sorry. Got kind of off topic there. What were we just saying? Like seconds
Trevor
ago?
Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Yeah,
Pro day.
I'm a big
Eighth-
fan.
I'm a huge fan because what I see out of Trevor Lawrence is what you want to see. Now, my only reserve with Trevor Lawrence is I want to know, and this is the part that makes drafting a quarterback so difficult because you don't know if this guy has it. He might think he has it. He might act like he has it. He might show you he has it, but he might not actually have it. And that's that killer instinct. That's that ability to go out and lead and be a leader. I don't want a guy that's going to go out and go all of a sudden like, so we get guys that have the talent. They got the ability.
Baker.
But they get in over their head because they're at a different level, and it spooks them. It makes
Jared Goff.
It makes him jittery, right?
That's
Goff.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff never had the look though.
Yeah, but I don't think Baker doesn't feel like he's in over his head.
No, but Baker was a cocky piece of shit.
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence is not that, but again, it doesn't. I don't care
But
what
right,
you're.
here's- this
I don't
is-
care what you're putting out there.
Yeah.
Whether you're arrogant, you're cocky, or you're reserved.
What happens when you're in between the lines?
Right. I want to know what does Trevor Lawrence do? Because I saw what
Well,
Justin Herbert does.
I will say
when
this.
he's under the gun and when he's under fire,
I will
and
say
I
this.
like it.
Everything that's come out from college and from Clemson is Trevor Lawrence is that guy that's there early and is the last to leave.
Yep.
He's in the room. He's watching film. He works. So everything that I've heard about him in college, the work ethic is through the roof.
And again,
So coming into the NFL,
I like that.
I think a coach sees that and they're like, all right, now we got to get his character.
but we all know, and we've seen it because we've been doing this show now for 8 years, 7 years. It's been 7 years in October. I've been doing this show.
Jesus.
You've been here for five or six of those. You've been here for 3 of those. Okay, we've been through a couple of drafts. We've seen a few cycles now where we've gone through the NFL, and we've seen it prior to doing this, right? You get the guys that come out, and the work ethic is there. The talent is there. Everything is there. Look, Derek Carr, perfect example. Perfect example of a guy that had the work ethic. He has the ability, the physical ability, the whole nine. Everything is lined up perfectly in terms of what you would look for when you draft a quarterback. It hasn't translated to wins. And it's
they've
not.
also had a lot of changes.
I'm not
since
saying,
he's been
but
there,
I'm not
though.
saying, and I'm not saying it's all Derek Carr's fault. I'm just using it as
Honestly,
an example.
for me, the thing that's always going to stick with me, Derek Carr, is the year he broke his leg. That was the year that he was having
on an MVP caliber season. He was about to win the MVP.
They were rolling into the playoffs. They definitely would have won the first round. I mean, we were going up against Houston in the first round. That
I
would
think
have been
J.J. Watt had a pick six in that game.
Yes,
actually.
he did. And that would have been a walk in the park if Derek Carr was still there because J.J. Watt was really all Houston had. Schaub was already at that point in his career. I mean, think about it. They were an aging team that was holding on to like the last playoff spot like they did for the past 3 years.
Did they still have Arian Foster during that game?
Yes, actually they
What a
did.
douchebag he's
they
become.
did. They really did.
Isn't he like some weirdo that like hikes the mountains in Tibet or something?
Yeah,
now?
he's
No, that was Ricky Williams.
No,
Ricky
Williams
Williams
went
is the
on and
man.
smoked pot with Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah, but he disappeared and went to go hike the mountains.
But
and
didn't
shit like
Arian
that.
Foster become like one of them too? Like
I don't know. He's like a super douchebag.
salt
though.
of the earth, crunchy weirdos.
Yeah, he hates football. He hates people that like football. He hates everything now.
He's like football ruined my life. Oh, hold on, let me go to the ATM and pull out $3 million.
Yeah, legit.
As I never work again.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, if you like football, you're a piece of shit. And he tweets like shit like that all the time.
And it's like, bro, ain't you rich? Well, yeah. Why are you rich? Football. So how did it ruin you? It didn't.
No, I just don't like him as a person.
I know.
And he was a dickhead even when and I remember people would tweet at him like, "Hey, I need you to run for 170 this week," and he would tweet stuff back like, "He's like, fuck fantasy, I hope you lose," and it's like, dude, it's a game,
like you're making.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would probably say the same thing if I was playing. Like, hey, I need you to do this for my fantasy team. Like, dude,
Just
I don't give
ignore
a
it.
flying fuck
Yeah,
about
no
your
kidding.
fantasy team.
Nobody
As a
cares.
matter of fact, fantasy football is what's ruining the league and ruining everything. So,
oh Jesus, it's true.
and fuck you 10 times over. But I mean, whatever. That's just me. But
All
I'm
right,
also.
so we did Watson.
Oh, wait.
We did Wilson.
Wait, and one more thing about Trevor Lawrence, how I know he's going to be good is because Jets insiders have said the Jets aren't as fond of Trevor Lawrence as they are of other quarterbacks. And I'm like,
perfect.
So if the Jets
Perfect.
don't like you, that means you've done it. You're good.
yeah.
Because the Jets only find that shit bag that they're like, oh,
No
he
one's-
looks like he's a Jet.
No one's
Facts.
asking the Jets like, do you like Trevor Lawrence? They're just like, you know what, guys, he's not as good as you think. And everyone's like, who are you talking to right now?
Who are you
You're sitting at a
watching?
mic, just yelling into the empty crowd. Is this COVID crowd? There's nobody there. I can't
All
stand
right,
the
so we
Jets.
did Watson, we did Wilson.
I've noticed, but
Okay.
Is Matt Ryan a Falcon next year?
Yes.
yep.
Okay.
I think the Falcons are content with
Nothing
holding
to
on
lose.
to him and Julio for at least one more year.
All right. Aaron Rodgers is a.
Packer.
Pack.
Now that surprised me. I thought for sure you were going to say he was on the move.
No, because I don't
Not
think
you. I saw it coming. I saw it.
I don't think there's enough. There's not enough of a wedge driven between him and LaFleur at this point. Give it another year and let's see what happens in the draft. Because if they go out,
You say there's not that much of a wedge, but
He's definitely disgusted.
the end of the NFC Championship game. I don't know what the fuck we were doing kicking a field goal on that either.
I think
I mean,
Rodgers.
you got to think of that last play when they decided
But there's
to kick
going
the
to
field goal.
be, in order for the Packers to deal away Aaron Rodgers at this point in his career, there's going to be like a public display of like
Which, guess what?
of a feud.
4 weeks from now is the draft.
Yeah, but they already drafted a quarterback.
No,
I know.
like 6 or 7.
No, I thought it was March.
No, free
And-
agency is
free
a month. It's
agency.
29 days
I'm
away.
sorry.
Yes.
Trust me, I know.
And then what is it? April.
End of April.
3rd?
That's fucking
draft?
always. It's always moving.
End
I
of
don't know.
April. I think it's end of April.
I thought they
beginning of
pushed
May.
it up because of the whole fucking corona
knows?
shit.
Check right now. Go ahead.
But go ahead.
So between now and then, you never know what the fucking happened with the Packers and Aaron Rodgers.
See, I feel this is Aaron Rodgers' 2019 Brady Patriots year, where all the rumblings started coming up. Brady's unhappy. They hate each other. They want to piss in each other's mouths.
April 29.
Nice. And then it took a whole year basically for that scenario to unfold, and you heard it now. Like, he was unhappy last year.
Mm-hmm.
Then he really was like, this offseason, he's like, I don't know what's going to go on, even with me. I think next year, they come out, they have a stinker. Maybe they don't make the playoffs. Maybe they make the playoffs and lose in the first round. I think then he's gone. I think this is his, like, swan song year of, like, this is it.
Well, we kind of thought that this was the fuck you tour year.
And
That's
it
what
was
we all
for him.
thought
And
this
it
year.
was for Aaron Rodgers. It wasn't, but no one
it wasn't
else
for
in
the
the
Packers,
organization
yeah.
shares that with him. And I feel like that's kind of like that's kind of the problem. There's the disconnect with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers organization. Aaron Rodgers wants to win championships. The Packers are completely content with just being relevant.
Okay.
And I think that's where the problem comes down. When you actually listen, like if you listen to the Pat McAfee show and you listen to Aaron Rodgers, he has a weekly spot, and you listen to his interviews and you read between the lines,
He's
right?
great.
We
Love
love to do this now, right? Read between the lines.
Yep.
Like these.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, 2 in the paint, 1 in the state. Oh, good job.
that's this.
Cha-cha-cha-cha.
That's that. This is.
A-Rod wants to win games, wants to win championships. He hates the fact that he's right now, he's in that like Breeze, Russell Wilson, Mahomes, like that. Like we're toiling around with one ring. Like Eli Manning has more than me, and that's a problem. Kind of group.
Oh, yeah, no, this offseason has been like, since he lost, people are saying like, oh, he's not even better than Eli Manning anymore. That's actually been a real argument.
No. He'll always be better than Eli Manning.
Yeah,
he'll
he's
always
better than a 500 quarterback.
he's better than almost. I mean, there might be like 6 or 7 guys that Aaron Rodgers isn't better than in NFL history.
Here's the problem.
That being said, his resume doesn't reflect it. Like Tom Brady is not the best quarterback to ever play in the NFL.
But
He's
his
the most
resume shows that he
he's
is.
the most successful, but he's not the best. There are guys that could have done more with the like. If you put Peyton Manning in New England with Bill Belichick all those years, there's 10 Super Bowls and probably 2 or 3 undefeated seasons.
Put Matt
I don't know
Ryan
about
in New
that.
England. Put fucking.
No,
not Matt Ryan.
Come on, let's be realistic.
Not Matt. Matt fucks up the end of the games all the time. That's on him a lot of the times.
But
The one year
You
that
were-
he had a good coach.
you were about to
Okay,
make a
you were going to
point.
say. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and I think my point kind of got like shoot away because I was basically off of something that Joey was saying. So it'll come back to me. So we'll come back to it.
Okay.
I can't think of it right now.
All right,
Hold on. Remember, I got 2 quarterbacks left to go.
go.
Carson Wentz is a.
Colt,
I'm gonna say Colt.
Patriot!
dude, Keith, you just want me to punch you in the face. That's all you're going for.
He does. He is. He's like, oh, Sean's angry today. I'm gonna be like Carson Wentz is a Patriot. I'm going hard in on the paint on that.
Yeah. No, listen.
I stabbed you in the
you know
hand
what
last
Sean
week.
always says? I'm just going to will it into fruition.
will
I'm
it in-
willing Carson Wentz
Will
to
it
the Patriots
into
this year.
existence. You're gonna will it into existence. No, I think Carson Wentz is. I think the Colts make a lot of sense because Carson Wentz is a guy if he's healthy
He can do
and
good
he's
for you.
upright,
And the Colts have a line.
he's an MVP.
The Colts have a line.
You look at Indy. That's a
But
slam dunk spot for him to go.
I don't understand what
and
the Eagles
and rejuvenate
what
his
the
career.
Eagles are doing. The Colts said we'll give you 2 second-round picks, one this year, one next year, and the Eagles saying, "Oh, we can get a lot more than that."
And nobody else has made
And
an offer.
the Colts have been like, the Colts are literally the John Travolta gif of him like looking around like,
Who else is here?
there's nobody here.
Yeah,
There's
like,
no one
I'm
else
in the
bidding.
room by
Nobody
myself.
else wants this contract. Nobody else wants this man. If he came to New England, I'd kill myself. So
Sean's like, oh, that window's
I'm
open.
telling you right
Yeet.
now, the Eagles are not going to get because the Eagles did a dumb thing. They showed their hand too early.
You want to know what's going to happen to the Eagles? They're going to get 1 pick for him.
yeah. Also,
Not 2.
they asked Jalen Hurts to gather the wide receivers and go have like an offseason thing. It's like, first of all, that's a very bad sign for draft capital because you're making it public that you're telling the backup to go with the other wide receivers in practice in the offseason. Yep. Carson Wentz is just like, I guess I'll just go fuck myself then.
He's like, I guess I'll just sit at home and get paid.
Right, and this is like I said, this is the problem that I listened to. I believe it was Mike Lombardi was on Pat McAfee today.
Oh, you saw that? Great stretch.
Great interview. And basically, what he said, he talked about how the Browns, when he was the GM for the Browns, he was able to trade Trent Richardson to the Colts.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
and he
yeah,
said
yeah.
the perception at the time was that Trent Richardson was a great player, so we had to move him.
We had to move him right now.
Before that, because perception was reality. So we had to
Because
move
guess
him
what?
before that was discovered
6
that he
months
wasn't.
later, you're
And
like,
Pat McAfee
wow.
cut him off. Was like, all right, we're not going to sit here and shit on Trent Brown for the next,
Richardson.
I'm sorry, Trent Richardson. We're not.
Sean Foster.
Sean Foster. We're not going to shit on Trent Richardson.
He said Trent was a great guy.
Yeah. He's like,
That's
he's
it.
a great guy.
Yeah, you just couldn't run the fucking ball.
But yeah,
That's a big problem.
Just a little bit.
But that also led to who they were originally talking about, which we'll get to, I'm sure.
But one of the other points that he made was that a lot of the times when you have these free agents, these guys that are available in trade, he said there's very rarely more than 2 teams involved. That are 2 teams that are actually.
Did I retweet this and you saw it?
No, I
or-
literally listened to it
Okay,
today on the
okay.
radio, where he says, there are almost never more than 2 teams involved on a guy, and the rest is all like just agents, fluffing up the you're trying to build up. It's supply and demand. It's very simple, and what they do is they'll say, oh yeah, this team's interested, this team's interested. We got 12 teams that made phone calls. Well, yeah, 12. Of course, 12 teams made phone calls.
Everybody makes a phone call.
They're doing their due diligence.
Doesn't mean they're fucking interested.
The difference, but there's a
just
difference.
hey, what's the going rate?
Right. There's a difference between being like calling and asking what the price is versus here's money on the table.
Now, who was the guy, for extra points, who was the guy that said he knows of one player ever that had like 12 money on
Reggie
table?
White.
There you go. He said that's the only guy I ever remember having multiple
I'm
offers.
sure Herschel Walker was
No.
made available from the Vikings.
No. He's saying as free
No.
agent.
Free agent.
Oh, free agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
He was like because when free agents, when you go out and they're like, oh, there are 12 teams interested in so and so. Like remember when Mike Wallace became a free agent? There was like 10 teams available, and then the Dolphins were like, fuck, and they like overpaid him.
They overpaid like a boo.
It was like 4 years, like $68 million or $64
We want you to
million.
run straight as fast as possible.
He's like, I could do that.
you got it, fam.
And Mike Wallace was actually a good player, but not for Miami at the time. Miami had no business signing him.
Last quarterback,
Go ahead.
Mitchie Trubisky.
Who
Where's Trubisky
cares?
going?
I don't know. I have no clue. I don't even know. Like, shit, that's a great question.
I'm going to say this. If Denver doesn't land Watson, I think Mitchie Trubisky in Denver makes a lot of sense.
I wouldn't actually hate that. I think Trubisky would be a big fit for Denver.
Listen, Trubisky's not bad.
No, it's his coaching that was terrible.
His offense changed every year he was in the league.
Matt Nagy is awful. Remember
Dude.
when but here's the thing, though. Remember like 4 years ago when everybody was singing Matt Nagy's praises? They were like, what a great coaching hire. They knocked it out of the park. He's,
Well,
so awesome.
He's a good defensive mind. I'll give him that. He knows
yeah,
his defense.
and the Bears' defense has been
been-
fucking stellar.
Right. I
under
mean,
him,
he's
so.
a defensive mind. I won't take that away from him.
He's like Vic Fangio in Chicago. Like they're kind of like the same guy.
Do you remember? I don't know if you guys remember on draft night on Twitter, but Mitch Trubisky got drafted, and then like 5 minutes after he got drafted, there was a tweet from him, which was from like years earlier, that says "I love kissing titties," and it went from like 5 retweets in that time to like 105,000 retweets of "I love kissing titties."
I mean,
and that was just his tweet.
I love kissing titties.
But
too.
it was just like it was so weird because
I'll
everyone
tweet that shit right now.
everyone was just like, "Yo, why is this man tweeting this like, right now? He just got drafted."
I'm
Nah,
gonna
man, that was
tweet
from,
it
like
right
4
now.
years ago.
No, he deleted it now. Oh, you're tweeting on your own thing. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you said you're gonna look for it. I was like, it's deleted now.
Yeah, right.
But it was so funny to see that. But okay, that was the last quarterback, Trubisky.
that was it.
I'm gonna say if the Colts can't,
Tweeted.
I'm gonna say if the Colts can't get Wentz, he goes to Indianapolis.
What, Trib?
Yes, if they
That
don't
would
get
make
Wentz.
sense
Okay.
too because
Yeah, I mean-
again, Trubisky's a guy if he stays upright and he's protected well, and the
Well,
fucking
but
Colts
dude,
right now.
he can move.
if the-
Like he's not.
I'm telling you, man, if the Colts get
And Wentz is
A
not the
good
answer. I
quarterback?
hope they get Wentz because I think Wentz. Is
I think if they get Wentz, Trubisky, Watson, or
Watson's a different level.
Colt
the
or
fallout. Imagine if they got Russ Wilson.
fuck you.
I don't see that happening.
Why not? If Russ wants out of
Do
Seattle,
they have
Russ,
enough to give Seattle?
yes,
No.
they do. They do
What do they have to give?
whatever they want.
Yeah, but they don't want just like a plethora of like random picks. They want like players
not?
and picks. Because Houston wants players and picks.
Okay, so you give him Darius Leonard and 2 firsts
Listen, if Wilson moves,
I don't know if
listen,
I want to do
if
that.
Wilson moves,
for Russell Wilson.
yeah, but you just hampered your defense. Like
Yeah, by one guy. Okay, great. I mean, listen, I love the maniac, and he's one of the best linebackers in the league, bar none. But yeah, I'm giving him up to get a fucking
the
quarterback
only thing that
all
makes
day.
sense
I don't know,
is
that-
Wilson for Dak. That's the only thing that's going to make sense. Is Jerry wants
Why?
Wilson.
No.
He signs Dak and makes a trade.
No, ain't gonna happen.
Listen,
Is Dak gonna
Russell-
be in Dallas?
Russell Wilson.
Yes, he is. That's
This
the
is
answer.
why I say I don't know. I've heard.
Dak is kind of the
Listen,
forgotten quarterback of
I've
this
heard.
offseason.
I've heard Wilson has been trying to steer towards Dallas.
But why though?
Why? Because they got a roster.
You know
they got
why?
a line.
You know why? You know what that is? That's a great head fake by Wilson's camp. If he truly does want out of Seattle, you steer towards Dallas because you know that Dallas might actually be
Make a
dumb
move.
enough
Yeah.
to make a move, and it's going to make somebody else jump in and get in the mix too. Where maybe somewhere he actually wants to go, like in
Where would he
Indianapolis,
really want to go though?
Indy, Pittsburgh.
Jacksonville.
All right, and I'm done with the show for tonight. You guys have yourself a great night.
All right, no, there's
He
all right,
wants to go to Jacksonville, huh?
there's one guy out there we have to talk about who was just cut a couple days ago.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
We have to talk about who was talked about earlier with Mike Lombardi on the Pat McCaffrey show, and that kind of relayed the whole message of where that was actually going, is J.J. Watt. Now, tons of teams have interest in J.J. Watt, but how many teams are offering that money contract? One of the
Well,
teams...
what is he saying he wants?
There's nothing
There's
yet.
really nothing out there
But
yet as
he
to say
stated
what he
He
wants.
wants to go to a winner.
He stated that Cleveland has everything he wants.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. If you're automatically saying Cleveland is your top choice, I have sincere doubts.
I've got a question, which I don't think Cleveland is his top choice.
I think he's just saying that
again,
to get the gears
that's,
moving.
That's a head fake to get the.
Well, no,
to
what
get
he said
other
was
teams
just
to
like, could
jump
you
in.
picture me and Myles Garrett on opposite ends of each other?
I was.
That's kind of like when I've tried to picture you and Jadeveon Clowney, and I was like, oh wait.
Oh yes.
I'm trying to actually see that.
I really thought
Clowney is not Garrett though.
I really thought the Patriots had a legit shot at J.J. Watt. Not
He
because
doesn't want to
not-
go to rebuild though.
You don't know that, but it's because of money. Because we have money in cap space, and then we're looking to build around a defensive line, and he would be the key piece we build on.
And it's
Even at
not-
32 years old, but he
Contrary
plays
to
with
popular belief,
Belichick.
the Patriots aren't that far away.
We were 7-9 with a shit quarterback.
They were 7-9 with literally the worst quarterback in
And
the
with
NFL
8
last
people
year.
missing from your team.
Yes, and we're getting 8 of those
we
people
went
back.
over this. The Patriots are going to be very good next
Now,
year, and which again, I want to remind everybody. For those of you Patriot fans that are sitting there with your
Tampa Bay.
your Tampa Bay logos and shit on your Facebook, you're dead to me. You were never alive to me.
Well, they're always dead to you.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically, but now you're just
Yeah,
bigger.
but now they don't have a pulse.
But now you're dead.
Right, but now I literally will never take you seriously. And I hate people that overuse the word literally. When people are like, he's literally Hitler. It's like, no, Hitler was literally Hitler.
What I've been saying to you guys about J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt wants to make a splash. He takes a low ball offer, and he goes to fucking the L.A. Rams.
If I'm J.J. Watt, no. Here's what you
No.
should do.
Yes.
Green
If,
Bay.
if I'm J.J. Watt, you should
Green Bay.
take a 1-year deal somewhere. This is if I'm
On
a
the
free
cheap,
agent.
on the
no.
cheap.
If I'm a free agent this year in pandemic cheap offseason year,
take 1 year
I
on
don't
the
sign. I don't sign anything long term. I say I want a 1-year deal. Hopefully, teams are allowed to get more revenue back next year, and the cap blows back up the following year in
And then you sign
2022.
your last contract
and
that you
then you
like.
sign a big contract. So I'm looking for a 1-year deal to just be like, I just want to play 1 year and then reevaluate the
But
next
could you
following
listen? You add J.J. Watt to that Rams defense. It's already stellar.
year. They don't have
They
any
made-
money.
You just said take a 1-year deal on the cheap.
Yeah, but come on.
They
he's
made a
not gonna
trade for
take.
Stafford. They're shoring up that offense. You added J.J. Watt with
I
Donald.
don't know
I'm just
because
saying.
the Rams don't have. They don't have. If they go and they take J.J. Watt on a 1-year deal,
on the cheap.
and then Aaron, it doesn't matter if it's on the cheap. You're gonna look at Aaron Donald. Like, those guys are gonna look at it like, what the fuck? Like, okay, like, yeah, great, bring him in. I hope mine's coming. And then what if it? Nah. And if I'm Aaron Donald, I mean J.J. Watt, I don't know if I want to.
Does he make a difference in LA though? If you sign J.J. Watt, I don't see that team as any more of like a
right.
a
It doesn't put them
difference
over the top. Like they
maker. You know
already
what I
have
mean?
enough
Like,
depth. And
Stafford was the gamble. Stafford is the gamble.
right.
That he's
They
gonna be
needed a
better.
quarterback. The defensive line was fine. They need a quarterback. You know who could use another pass rusher? Green Bay, New England.
Green Bay doesn't have the cap though. That's the only thing. And neither do the Steelers. Steelers are another one because
Steelers,
he would play with his brother. Steelers have negative money.
San Francisco. They got the money for
They're yes, but they're tight against the cap and they have other needs.
They're tight, but they get the money for
And let's assume, and someone brings up in the chat, I don't know what his name is, but is he brings up the show, why would the Pats want him for 1 year? No, we're not saying the Pats would get him for 1
No,
year.
the Pats want him for a longer deal. What Sean is saying is,
But
Yeah,
we-
if I'm
sign him
JJ,
1 year so that next year when the cap goes back up, you can cash in.
the Patriots want him for longer. I guarantee
yeah,
you.
but he's going to be able to he's going to be able to cash in on a team like New
Absolutely.
England that has cap space this year,
And
knowing
what-
that the cap is going to go up again
What
next year.
better way to elevate yourself than play with Belichick, look like a fucking $1 million doing it, and then
And-
going back into free agency and blowing it up like what always happens in New England?
And think about it. If you're J.J. Watt at this point in your career, no matter where you're going, you get to do what you do best, which is rush the passer.
Yeah.
You get to be a situational pass rusher. You don't have to be in every single down defensive end
Right.
where you're out there slamming your fucking, breaking your nose and
No, you go out there on second and
busting your
longs and third
busting your
downs
ass
only.
and busting your tits. You get to bring him in. You put him on. He gets to play 60 to 70% of the snaps, which is really all you need him to play. And you get him in. He's a third down specialist, like that kind of thing. You don't need him. You use him a lot like you would use him. I'm trying to think of a decent a comparison. I was gonna say DeMarcus Ware, like he got
No.
used in Denver,
I was
but
gonna say
DeMarcus Ware got
DeMarcus
used a
Ware-
lot in Denver.
yeah.
But his last year, they kind of subbed him in and out to keep him
Yeah,
fresh.
but he
for
signed
the
like a
playoffs.
3-year deal.
Right, but I'm just saying, like I'm trying to think like Jared Allen in Minnesota, but he played a lot at that point.
What's his
Oh
name?
man, I love Jared Allen.
Mathis in Indy.
No, he played a lot too.
No, Mathis and Freeney.
No, Freeney. Yeah, but towards the end, Freeney was just a third down
or
guy.
like no, that was Freeney in Arizona. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Abram in Atlanta.
Right, yeah,
like,
John.
shit like
Yeah,
that,
you get
know?
guys that you would get that you would have to bring in, and that's the thing. Like Watt isn't the guy. He's not the caliber of player that he was a couple years ago when he won his third defensive
No,
MVP.
but he can still make a difference
but
on
he- but
any given play.
in the right situation on the right team, he can and will be a difference maker. If he goes, let's say hypothetically, Deshaun Watson goes to Denver. You don't think
follow
Denver?
suit.
You don't think Denver would be all in on J.J. Watt as a defensive end?
Yep, that would make sense.
You put in with Jarrell Casey, and you might lose Shelby Harris in the offseason.
Yeah, you still got Chubb there.
He's a
and
free
stuff. I
agent,
mean,
and you got
you'd have a
Bradley
good
Chubb.
defense.
You don't know what's going on with Von Miller. You bring in J.J. Watt. Who knows? I
That
mean,
solidifies the left side.
So, and then one last thing, not to get off into a Patriots tangent, but Patriots are going to have to make a move on a quarterback soon. It's going to be free agency.
Yeah.
If you want to bring in guys that are going to catch the ball, they'd like to probably know who's getting the ball to them. So I would love to go out and sign Hunter Henry and Allen Robinson and all these big-name guys, but they're not going to come here and just be like, who's throwing us the ball? And they'll be like, Bill Chuck is going to be, it's me. I'm going
They'll
out
be like,
there.
I'm with it, coach.
they're like Jarrett Stidham. They're like,
They're like, what his name's
but at
Stiddy?
the end of the day, though, if they already got paid, then
And they're playing with Belichick, so they're already like, all right, we're going to do something good.
and you
Yo,
got
I'm going to have, what's his name? Michael Myers out there throwing you the ball.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up there, guys. We'll get into Daytona next week. I just want to let's spend 2 minutes on Daytona real quick.
Let's.
Infinitely better than the
Sean
Super
just
Bowl.
shut off his mic.
Stop.
Infinitely better.
No, it was. Even with the 5-hour layover.
Even with the rain delay. It was the most satisfying thing. What a just a phenomenal way to finish to start the season for NASCAR. Here's the thing. I was explaining this to a couple people that I know. The reason why when it comes down to the Super Bowl and the Daytona 500, because they happen about a week apart from each other, typically there's usually no
there's no gap.
Super Bowl Sunday, Daytona 500, like within the same 7 days. I would take the Daytona 500 almost every single time over the Super Bowl, simply because
With a few exceptions.
Daytona always comes down to the last lap. That race always comes down to
Especially
the
within
end.
the last
It's
few
always
years with the new cars and
there's
everything.
always like in overtime. There's always something crazy that happens at the end, and it's always a good,
always-
entertaining race. The Super Bowl, not so much. And this year was a perfect example. If you didn't watch Daytona this year, and I get it, a lot of people didn't because the rain delay, and not a lot of people knew all of a sudden
I'll
it was
tell you what,
starting
though.
up at 8:30.
Now, see, I didn't know, because when I turned on my TV, I was like, oh, shit, it's back on. Like, I didn't get an alert. I didn't get nothing that it was coming back on. But I will say this. With Pitbull entering the NASCAR scene, Jordan owning a team now, There's a lot more focus on...
Really bums me out that Jordan's hitching his wagon to a race baiter, though.
I mean, what'd you expect, though? He's trying to make, like, a name for Jordan there. So he's like, all right, we'll take this guy.
I mean, listen, not for nothing, Jordan Racing, as a part of the Jordan brand, has had a shit-ass track record. Like, they were terrible in MotoGP. Ask anybody who knows anything about MotoGP, and they'll tell you Jordan Racing was garbage. Like, they were
But
never
what did
competitive.
Jordan do? He
They
went
were
out and got
awful.
a Denny Hamlin.
Well, he sponsors Denny Hamlin, but Denny Hamlin still races for Gibbs.
Yeah, and Jordan's race team is a part of Gibbs Racing.
Right, but he still races for Gibbs. They're still two separate teams.
But the teammates are Hamlin and Wallace for Jordan Racing.
No.
Hamlin's part owner of Jordan Racing.
Hamlin is he's a part owner of. There's a lot of moving parts.
It's all still Gibbs, but the Jordan.
But Hamlin still runs and rides for Gibbs,
Right.
who is an established winning race team in NASCAR. Now Jordan was smart to get Denny Hamlin on board,
And Joe
and
Gibbs to
he's
join.
been with don't forget Denny Hamlin is at Jordan Racing for the last 2 years now. This is the third. This is the third season.
Third season.
So this is the third season that he's going to have the jump
Jordan
man
Logan, yeah.
on his car, and that's all fine and well, and I'm all for that, and I like the fact that Michael Jordan's getting involved with NASCAR. He's always been a huge fan ever since he was a kid, and all this other
And
stuff.
it's just going to open up more for NASCAR.
It just bums me out that
That's with Wallace.
he hitches his wagon to Bubba Wallace, who is a race baiting, lying, fraudulent. He's the Jussie Smollett of NASCAR.
But he was like one of the only free agents available, and it was an easy transition.
Exactly, and it made sense because we got an African American driver and
With
Jordan
Michael Jordan as
Racing.
an owner. Yeah.
Michael Jordan, we're going to promote that. We're going to promote diversity and all this other shit. And I said so much on
Well, that's like Pitbull. Pitbull has Suarez, a Spanish racer with a Spanish owner. Who would've thought?
Mexican.
Whatever.
Daniel Suarez. Well, he found out about Daniel Suarez when he went. Pitbull did like a trip, and he went down to Mexico, met Suarez's family. They told him about Suarez, and then he started following when he was in like the go karts,
Yeah,
basically,
sprint, everything. Yeah.
and watched him come up. And then Pitbull got involved with NASCAR. Now Pitbull's all about NASCAR, which is great, and I love it. But the whole Bubba Wallace Michael Jordan thing is just fucking silly. Like, Bubba Wallace is a fraud and a liar, and let's never forget that.
I'm dying of the Pitbull stuff.
Why?
You're like a Puerto Rican.
No,
said
Pitbull's
Spanish.
Spanish, did you?
Pitbull's Spanish.
Oh my god, my bad.
It's Puerto
He said,
Rican.
"Oh, it's Spanish,
Cuban, I thought.
Spanish with Spanish or whatever," and then he's like, "Oh, he's Mexican." Ah, whatever.
All white people look the same.
You were all into it, and then you were like, "Nah, whatever."
Yeah.
but the race was fantastic. If you missed it, I don't know what to tell you. You missed a great race,
Chase coming in second.
which I thought it was awesome. On the last lap, it was fucking phenomenal because you had both Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski, both Penske drivers, wreck each other in the final in the final lap wreck that ultimately snuffed out fucking Bubba Wallace as well,
Cuban.
and it was great.
Links.
What?
Cuban Links.
Yeah,
bro. You
exactly.
don't remember them?
It was great. The only thing I was bummed out about on Sunday was the 24 car got caught up in that first wreck.
Yeah, and that first wreck before the race.
Him and Blaney, which Blaney, I know he drives for Penske, and it's not kosher to root for Penske in my house because my dad still loathes Penske because while Robert Penske was putting all that money into Bobby Rahal and the IndyCar circuit and everything else, he was
NASCAR just went down the toilet.
he was screwing over Rusty Wallace, and it was just kind of like one of those things, and like it just. My dad was always mad because he's like,
I love Rusty.
If he put half the money into fucking NASCAR as he did into his wine and cheese circuit in Indy, he's like, Rusty would have 5 or 6 championships by now. And he wasn't wrong. Rusty was always there.
Rusty
and
was always there.
Damn,
It was one of those things. But
I was today years old when I found out Michael Jordan owned race cars.
Huh?
I was today
Well, this
years
is his
old.
first car, so.
Don't.
I had honest to God no idea.
Now you're putting yourself in the like, welcome to my TED.
No, I have no. I'm not doing that at all. I have no idea that actually happened.
Say it louder for the
this is
people in
his
the
first
back.
NASCAR.
I don't know
it's
who
his
needs
first
to hear
NASCAR?
this
This is his first
spot.
NASCAR.
When did he buy into it? Recently?
This year.
This is his first NASCAR.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
That means he bought into it this
Yeah,
year,
but you
Sean.
said this is his first NASCAR. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
because he
but
did
it's like,
his first team.
MotoGP shit.
does he have one NASCAR?
Yeah, he
does
has
he have
one.
2
He has one.
NASCARs?
He's one.
He has one. And then he put
Jordan
his
Racing
symbol on
has
another.
one.
Is it
And then
number
he puts- and then
23?
he sponsors.
It is the number 23.
Watch.
Yeah, of course. Bubba Wallace goes from the number 23. You know what pisses me off though about the whole narrative about Bubba Wallace, and this is and
Well, then he had Richard Petty's number?
we'll end the no, not even that he had Richard Petty's number, but we'll end the show on this. The thing that pissed me off was the narrative leading up to the Daytona 500, and everybody obviously was talking about that. NASCAR, like they're pumping the Bubba Wallace thing because Bubba Wallace is what we would consider a useful idiot for NASCAR because NASCAR had a stigma attached to it. Like you watch Days of Thunder, in the first 30 seconds, there's like 17 Confederate flags, which are now banned at all NASCAR tracks because we solved racism today. Like, well, okay, whatever, fuck you. Like, just shut up.
But now, as you're saying the Wallace thing, are they pumping Wallace or are they pumping Jordan for being in NASCAR?
Both. But Bubba Wallace is the useful idiot in this situation because Bubba Wallace can be changed out with any driver next year and it won't matter.
And he probably will be.
Because Bubba Wallace is not a great driver.
And if everybody
not at least in the NASCAR level. He's never going to win a championship, let's put it that way. I'll bet a large sum amount of money that Bubba Wallace will never win a championship in NASCAR. Probably will never happen. Now, it's not going out on a very thick limb either. Anybody who knows NASCAR is probably saying, well, yeah, no shit. Like, okay.
Yeah, but he was never a driver that you looked at and was like, this guy might have a chance.
He's not even that. But what NASCAR needed out of Bubba Wallace, and when the hate hoax thing came out last year at Talladega, when they were like, someone tied a noose in his garage, and it's like, no, somebody actually just put a pull rope on the garage, and it's been there since last fall. Like, the FBI swooned in.
And they were like, yeah, this sucks.
And they were like, there was this big investigation, and with like 36 to 48 hours, it was determined that, nope, this was not a hate crime. There was no hate involved. There was no racist, there was no malfeasance. Nothing. There was nothing in there that suggested that Bubba Wallace was being targeted because of his skin color. And what pissed me off about Bubba Wallace was that it could have just been dropped.
No, he went on a tour.
Nope, he had to go on the talk show tour the next morning and go on with Joy Behar and Whoopi and be like, it was a noose. I don't care what the FBI says. Yeah, it was racist. And like he starts pounding the desk and it's like, all right, Jussie.
Is that real go?
Like, why don't you chill the fuck out? But NASCAR was loving it because NASCAR is like, look at this.
We're in the limelight.
Not only are we in the limelight, we're getting attention on a national level in places we never get attention
People
for.
are tweeting at
But
us.
people are tweeting at us, and they're like, Bernard Pollard is all of a sudden involved with iRacing. Michael Jordan's coming in this year. Like, look at this new demographic we're exposing ourselves to.
Bringing back the IROC circuit.
Because look, we're not the good old Southern boys and the racists and banjos and moonshine and all that kind of shit. They're like, oh, no, we're back to being a mainstream sport.
Nothing wrong with moonshine.
And all they did was capitalize, and NASCAR just used Bubba Wallace as a pawn, and Bubba Wallace continues to go out there and be like, I'm there. Oh,
and then next year, he's not going to be driving.
And then he won't, and he'll be gone, and he'll never be seen or heard from again.
And the next time you see him is like when Sterling Shepard came out and drove at 70. You're like, Sterling Shepard's going to
race.
race.
Or Derek Cope in the 500 on Sunday.
Dog, what did he last, 3 laps?
Yeah, his car blew up, yeah.
Well, no, he cut a tire.
Cut a tire down and hit the wall.
Yeah.
So every time
you
guys say Bubba Wallace, I can't really picture what he looks like. I just think of Bubba Sparks. I don't know. I just had to throw that out there.
No, he's black, not white.
No, I know, but I can't picture what he looks like, so I just picture him looking like Bubba Sparks.
No, he's actually an athlete.
Bubba Wallace looks like a slightly darker skinned version of Keith.
Oh, there you go.
Somewhat.
But like with the curly beard. All right, I'm going home.
Gotcha.
But anyway, I'm glad NASCAR's back in the limelight. I'm glad Pitbull and Jordan are involved. Bubba Wallace won't be here in a couple of years. He's a lackey. He's just a mediocre driver. Yep. You know what he is? He's one of those guys that I always considered like it's okay when he's one of the 21 cars involved in the big one because you don't really care about him. It's like, all right, as long as Dale and Jeff and all these other guys got through it, you're like, okay, cool. But you need somebody to be involved in it, because you need the crash to be bigger. But he's one of those guys you don't have a problem like just being cannon fodder.
This is Joey and I talking when we were 13 years old. Yeah, Dale and Jeff fucking battled it out.
When did Jeff retire?
3 years ago now.
Was it?
Yeah.
Damn.
Let's not talk about it.
It's a sore spot.
It's still really hard for my son to watch fucking NASCAR.
No shit, huh?
Yeah, Jeff Gordon
was
and
his
his
favorite?
24 car was like Lightning McQueen to him.
Wow.
Yeah, it didn't help that, every time it came on, I was like, boy, watch that number 24, boy.
You slap him off the couch? Boy!
That boy,
Jesus Christ.
That boy can drive.
Legit.
He can. Dale versus Jeff, great documentary.
Oh, my
30
God,
for 30,
awesome.
That was fantastic.
Awesome.
Did you watch the behind the scenes of Days of Thunder?
I was here with you.
No, but did you watch the whole thing?
I didn't finish watching
No,
it.
it was phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. So much about that movie I didn't know.
Dude, a lot.
A lot.
Like,
I thought I knew
race
everything
teams
about that
involved
movie,
and
but like
how Hendrick Motorsports was so involved with it and shit. Like
Rick Hendrick built the cars for that movie.
It was Jeff Gordon's shell car.
Yeah.
The 46 was Jeff Gordon. Like,
Jeff Gordon was supposed to drive the number 46, but
Yes.
they changed the number to the 24 at the last minute.
Yep. Once the movie came out, they're like, we can't use 46.
Yeah.
Like, they had the two cars side by side.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It's wild. Pretty cool. Pretty cool story. Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back next Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. I'm sure we'll have some more fun stuff to talk about. We'll get into some more. We didn't get into the Celtics tonight, who have been on a tremendous losing skid.
They beat the Nuggets tonight.
Wow.
Oh. Golf clap.
Holy shite.
Golf clap.
Yeah,
I'm starting to hear
underwhelmed.
rumblings. I'm starting to hear people actually start to awaken and listen up to what we've been saying on the show, particularly me, about how Danny Ainge is a failure as a GM, and they're starting to hold Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge accountable for the failures of this team. Just throwing it out there. But anyway, make sure you go to row1seat1.com. Check us out. You'll be able to see us. Be able to see a bunch more fun shit on there coming up very soon in the next couple of weeks. We got big things planned, so we're just trying to get the logistics of it together.
One step closer to 300.
One step closer to 300, and there will be a big announcement for the 300th show.
And please, as always, don't forget to head down to 2306 Acushnet Ave and check out Cutting Cards.
We're going to start sharing that on the page, too.
Yes.
We'll get on that, and we'll make sure we have it. So the only way you'll be able to tell if we share it is if you go over to row1seat1.com, row1seat1 on Facebook. Give us a like and a follow there. And we'll be back next week, Tuesday night, 8:30. Thank you all for joining us. Let's leave it. We're going to leave it with the trailer one last time. We'll leave it out.
Nice.
We'll let this go one last time. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. I am Joey Fats. For Darkness, Mr. Sean Bencourt. We'll catch you next week. Peace.
From the creators of the Lakers are signing Giannis, and Drew Lock will be an MVP in 2020, comes the next big thing. Joey Fats being a bigger annoying bastard than ever before, with new lines like, Deshaun Foster is the best QB in the NFL today, and Deshaun Jackson may throw for 6,500 yards in Denver this year alone. So step right back and buy your tickets because things are going down. Joey Fatson, Deshaun Watson to Denver.